All right then.
In the Meditations, Marcus Aurelius says, the object of life is not to be on the side of the majority, but to escape finding oneself in the ranks of the insane. Well, here we are.
That's us.
That's us. We're in the minority though, but Jesus Christ, some of the things I've been seeing lately in the news and everything else, including this fun little article I found where quote, teenage girls are sending the Florida shooter suspect, I don't even know if he's a suspect anymore, love letters and bikini pictures.
Yep.
Slow clap. You know what? It's instances like this that I really genuinely believe that Tide Pods aren't a solution or aren't a problem. They are this, in fact, the solution. So I completely butchered that joke.
Yes, you did.
Yes, I'll say it again. Tide Pods are not the problem. They're the solution. There, see?
Yeah, perfect.
Much more smoothly. So
well done. We're proud of you.
So, anyways, how's your wrist?
It's doing good.
Doing good. That's not what we heard.
No, it's
carpal tunnel.
It's getting better today because I didn't do anything with it. I mean, we went shopping. I tried to carry the grocery bags, but my husband took them all away from me, so I need a rest.
Rest up that hand for later, sweetheart.
Hey, that's what the left is for.
I'm ambidextrous.
It's fine, honey. I'll make my own sandwich.
I'm a woman of many talents, so the husband appreciates it.
You know how to hold that grapefruit, right?
Exactly.
Fucking hell.
But either way, you still might have to get into the doctors and stuff like that, take a look at it, and might need surgery, or we don't know just yet, not until we get in.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it is, because I might be out of work for a while if that happens.
Oh, it's gonna be an expensive surgery too, and you're gonna be out for what? Nat, you said your mom had carpal tunnel and she was out for 2 weeks.
Yeah, something like that.
Yes. It's gonna be interesting, but
yeah. So sorry, I can't draw any more dick pics for you, Matt.
Oh darn! Oh no! Whatever shall I do?
Hire someone else.
I'd comment though, but
you'll have to hire Joker instead.
Yeah. I was gonna make a joke that I don't really have much standing after that picture you drew for Kit Kat, the one that's gracing the new Couch Co-op episode that is finally done uploading. So yay! Another Friday 13th Let's Play, and then I believe 2 weeks from now, Nat and Llama Pockets will be back in my area, and we're planning on doing some new Couch Co-ops. So new live streams. What do you do? Everyone's like, content. Oh, you guys are turning into a Let's Play channel now. Fucking not really, but we're just doing it for shits and giggles. This channel has only ever been to amuse ourselves, and you guys are all just here for the ride. So
yeah,
and for our gracious Patreon supporters, thank you.
They count too.
Actually, speaking of the Patreon supporters, we let everyone in Patreon know that we're planning on returning to maybe not as heavy as After Hours was before, though we're going to be doing more extended plays / After Hours, just to kind of keep some content going at least weekly. Yeah. While we work on Couch Co-op and we work on video podcasts, and it's fun to bring in some of our Patreon friends in because, as we said in our update, we've had some genuinely good conversations lately with our Patreon friends, and some of them would make genuinely good like short After Hours. So we are planning on doing that pretty soon. So it'll be fun. I mean, you guys, we like, I don't know jack shit about comics and like Comicsgate, even though it's intriguing. So some of you Patreon friends know way more about Comicsgate than I do. So it'd just be interesting to bring you guys in and get your take on it, because it'd just be something fun to bitch about, to be honest. So so gun control. I'm joking. We're not going there. We're not going there. Go there. I mean, the extent of how we do our political thing is just strictly for like the SJW stuff that's ruining entertainment. So
yeah,
we'll leave it there and leave our actual ideas and conversations in the Discord app where it's safe and snug.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
Okay.
uh,
think all those
what's
jokes are
all up
kind of
with you
kicking in.
guys?
What?
Well,
In
we
the
already
what?
asked what Mel's up to. Nat, what about you? How are things? How's things in the UK now that Lord Sugar posted that picture of what's his name, Cameron, in the fucking Nazi picture?
Cameron? What?
What the hell is his fucking name? Jeremy Corbyn. That's it.
Oh yeah. Well,
Right.
I really love Lord Sugar. For those of you who don't know, he presents the UK version of The Apprentice.
He seems
And
down to earth.
before you say he's the British Donald Trump,
No, he's not.
He can't stand Donald Trump for one thing, and second of all,
Good.
You fucked
and
up my
second of
show.
well, unlike Trump, Lord Sugar actually came from quite a poor family and managed to work his way into becoming a billionaire. Or I
Yeah,
don't know
his
if
father didn't give him like small change of $10 million. What?
was he a billionaire or is he just a millionaire? I can't remember, but either way, he's very well off.
He's a douchebag.
He's actually a lord now, so
Oh, really?
yeah,
Sweet.
Lord Sugar. But yeah, I always liked Lord Sugar. Like he has this back and forth on Twitter with Piers Morgan, and it's absolutely hilarious.
Well, the fact that he's doing something with Jeremy Corbyn was great until all of a sudden, as Sargon would say, the Corbynites came out and were like, you got to take this down and apologize. And Jeremy
For
Corbyn
what?
should sue you. It's like, motherfucker, nobody can take a joke anymore. And thanks to this whole Count Dankula thing, being offensive, saying anything offensive is now it's like a fucking witch hunt mob mentality where it's like you gotta apologize and we should sue you and you gotta take this down. You should be ashamed of yourself. And it's like, fuck off political correctness.
Exactly.
To quote Ricky Gervais, "You were offended? Well, I thought it was funny. That's why I'm happy about it."
Awesome.
Well, everyone's just so up their own fucking ass. And again, Tide Pods, if there's ever like, they should just have like a little vending machine in like college campuses that, you just get free Tide Pods, all you can eat. It fixed the problem very quickly.
Oh, definitely.
But anyways, who wants to be up first? And again, we're not talking about gun control, even though we have our own opinions, but we're not going to air them for once.
Amazing.
We will happily talk about whatever else is on your guys' plates, though. So who wants to be up first? Let us know. And you can do that either through the Discord app or through the chat in the YouTube window. But I think that the Patreon group in the Discord app would be quicker.
Yeah.
God, I've
and
been playing
wait for the leg. Yes.
I've been playing fucking Oblivion nonstop because basically I had this thing where a personal like goal of mine to finish every single quest in Oblivion, and then I did it.
Oh, nice.
Wait,
wow.
Hang on a minute.
People are going to be so happy that you're getting quests completed in a 10-year-old game versus working on a new video podcast. I joke though because you actually did the most of the work on the couch co-op. She's about to rip me a new asshole is what she was about to do. I could hear her taking that deep breath, being like, "Motherfucker."
Just like, bitch, excuse me.
But then, like, once I completed every single quest of the game, I realized that like there's actually 100% completion goal thing. So I had to restart the game again, and this time I'm trying to close like every single Oblivion gate. Blah 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 blah. So I've just been playing that.
I didn't finish. I beat the game, like the story part and everything like that, and then I was like, oh, okay, I'll go ahead and give it a rest and maybe get back to it in like a week. It's been 2 years now.
Do you know what? The main quest isn't even the best quest in it. There are so many great quests in it. Yeah, like the Mages Guild is pretty good, and so is the Thieves Guild. I actually also found a new favorite YouTube channel as well. There's this guy called Wilburger. I think I posted it in the Discord, but he's got this like Oblivion playthrough, and I've been watching that. He's hilarious.
Is this a guy called Autistic Cat or something like that?
Autism Cat.
Autism Cat. Is that him?
Wow.
Yeah, he plays as a Khajiit, and he's kind of like not cheated in the game, but like exploited some of the bugs to power up his Khajiit, like to make it like god mode bait essentially.
Nice.
The Walking Dead pan says, "Why on earth would anyone try to 100% a Bethesda game? Or is you dumb?"
You added, listen. I love Oblivion. Oblivion was revolutionary. Okay, Skyrim not so much.
Especially with how many copies came out for it. So.
But yeah, I'm a dark elf because dark elves are the best.
I'm a Nord. Thought I put that out there.
I might actually let me like see if I can take a picture of my character so I can share it.
I can't.
I don't know how I'm gonna do that, but I'll find a way. What was that?
What was what?
Oh, nothing. So that's what's been going on with me. How about everyone else?
Wrist is starting to stiffen up a little bit. Damn it. Matt, this is all your fault. You need to apologize. You need to take CCS down because you've done this to me.
Are you demanding an apology? Oh, careful, because I'll Photoshop you in a picture with Hitler.
Yeah. Fine.
Hello.
Yo.
Hello. So, I've been hearing about my favorite game of all time.
Oblivion?
That's why we brought you in.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that game.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, see?
The weirdest part is I can remember almost everything about that game, even the little tiny storylines, because it was just the most interesting fucking game in the entire world.
Hell yeah. Fucking Sean Bean and Patrick Stewart.
Exactly.
I guess which one died in the game?
they
Spoilers!
The only good thing... What?
No, go ahead.
Okay. The only good thing they kept from Oblivion and took it into Skyrim was Cicero.
Yeah.
1 second, I'm just trying to... How am I going to do this? Okay, continue talking. I'm just doing something.
I don't know. Apparently, you know the really annoying fan from when you complete the arena from Oblivion, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So they realized how annoying he was and brought him back. And there is a fun little story when you find his journals when you do the Dark Brotherhood.
I remember the Dark Brotherhood.
Is that where it turns out that like he was just getting close to the heroes so that he could kill them and take the money? Or am I misremembering that?
This is it Oblivion or Skyrim we're talking about?
Probably both.
Okay, because I played the Dark Brotherhood in Oblivion, the one quest that I regret. But anyway,
I'm pretty sure everybody regrets that, but we still had to kill the motherfucker.
God, I feel like an arsehole when I have to do those quests because obviously I want to do like try to do every single quest of the game, and when I get to that one, I'm just like, oh mate. But I got all of like the extra content as well. Like I got basically the full game, and there's a place called what the fuck is it called? Like
what's it look like?
It's like I can't remember, Dunbarrow Cave or something like that, and it's like basically if you're making an evil character, that's where you want to go. It comes like with a coffin that you can sleep in, and an altar to Sithis, and its own fucking caged prisoner and shit like that.
Don't remember. Might have to look that up. I've never quite found it, but I do know where the little altars to make black soul gems.
Yeah.
Ooh.
There's quite a few of them.
Fucking Oblivion's great.
Something's blowing my mind.
Yes?
What?
There's actually gamer girls out there? What the hell is this? I thought all those big bad men kicked you guys off the internets. I thought that all of you were so fragile and had such frail egos that you needed someone to stand up for you, like white knights, and you guys got kicked off the internet because you guys were so frail. You guys are so thin-skinned, according to all the feminist game journalists out there, that you guys are just kicked off the net. I mean, what is this? I've been lied to.
Well, the thing is, we just didn't give a fuck. We just want to play games.
Holy shit!
If you guys check the Discord chat, I'm putting my Oblivion character in there now. A picture.
Oh, I should do mine. No, she's probably not that good looking. My Skyrim's more good looking than the Oblivion one. It's quite sad.
I spent ages designing mine.
That's okay.
My favorite armor is the armor you get for the Dark Brotherhood quest, but the thing is, it's not very powerful, which is annoying. But yeah, if you go to that cave I was talking about, it actually comes with another version of that, like a weaker version, so you don't actually have to do the Dark Brotherhood stuff to get it.
Sorry, can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay.
We can hear your beautiful voice.
It's not.
I did just ask if Skyrim is really that much worse than Oblivion, and I have to go resounding yes.
Guys, can we just take a moment to if you look at my character that I posted in Discord, my Oblivion character, look at that fucking light armor vest. It's just a bra. Like, what the fuck?
I don't know. It looks pretty good on you.
Jesus Christ. I'm not actually wearing it in that, but
you gotta have boob armor in every single Bethesda game. You know that.
Boob armor is important,
I mean,
you gotta protect the boobs.
Remember, being fair, would you rather have a shitload of heavy armor that you can hardly move in, or some light armor that does the exact same thing and just happens to make you look sexy?
Exactly.
Wait a minute. So women want to look sexy in video games too? That's a form of empowerment? Oh my god. The entire gaming press, my reality is breaking apart and shattering around me like razor sharp shards of glass.
We broke him.
We broke his world.
To quote Tommy Wiseau, I've had enough of this world.
Oh god, this is just a little bit off topic, but I think I lost all faith in my college about 12 hours ago.
Oh, what happened?
Okay, I understand I live in a very liberal area. I live in Southern California. I understand that it's technically a liberal arts college. But apparently now, Nerf guns are politically incorrect.
Jesus Christ.
Okay.
What? Why?
Have you ever heard of Humans versus Zombies, where the humans are armed with Nerf guns and socks to fight the zombies off?
Yeah.
I don't know. That sounds painfully ableist to me, so.
Well, a guy came around with a petition to my dorm, I think 2 days ago, and he was like, I need you to sign this if you enjoy playing Human versus Zombie. I was like, oh yeah, I like playing it. I'm like, what's this for? And he's like, well, some of the mods are trying to take away the Nerf guns because of the current political climate, and they're concerned that some people may be offended.
Nerf.
Nerf? Really?
It's Nerf or nothing.
I kid you not. And I looked up to the sky, I flipped everyone off, and I basically just screamed the F-bomb for about a minute. And then the next day, I get an email, because I'm on the Humans vs. Zombie email list. And they said, after considering the protests of some of the players, we have decided to restrict all Nerf blasters to night missions off campus. And if you come back on campus, you have 5 minutes to put away your blaster so that no one is triggered by the sight of your Nerf gun.
Oh my gosh.
Actually,
at this point, next generation is just going to be a bunch of spineless pussies at this point.
I actually basically...
And that's what the Illuminati wants.
I wanted to scream. Are your fifis that hurt, you motherfuckers? Here we go. Here. DSA brought to our attention that there are definitely members of the community who have been impacted by the unfortunate prevalent gun violence occurring in our country right now. How much you want to bet not a single person complained?
Exactly. It's just her. It's mainly just like higher ups or 2 or 3 person threatening them to do this petition.
No, it just said, after significant discussion with the DSA. That means that no students probably came forward. Also, is it a bad idea to buy a shirt that says, I can do more damage with a spork than a Nerf gun, just to fuck them off?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Well, see, you're a woman, so you're going to get a free pass on it, so I say do it.
I might just have a shirt that says if you think Nerf blasters are bad, you should see what I can do with a spork.
Exactly.
I damaged a lot of people with sporks as a kid.
Well, the thing is, I don't get is that 1 minute these kids are saying stuff like, "Oh, we can't have Nerf guns because they hurt our feelings. We need to make the campus a safer place. We can't, be careful not to use any microaggressions against people." And then the next minute, they want the right to vote, the voting age lowered, and they want to be able to dictate gun ownership laws. And it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's why there's this Reason magazine article that says news outlets ignore millennials' skepticism of gun control. So, from what I can tell, most libertarians and a growing group of conservative youths really don't like the idea of gun control. And even according to this article with some stats and whatnot, it says that even like leftists and genuine liberals think that gun control is kind of dangerous. Because I mean, if you're a liberal and you're like pro-human freedom, shouldn't you be pro-guns generally? I mean, isn't it kind of an authoritarian thing to do? God damn it, we're talking about gun control. Fucking shit. I knew this was going to happen. I mean, but I'll shut up after I say I think it's authoritarian. Is any group that wants to take away the right to defend yourself is authoritarian, and it goes against leftist and libertarian principles.
I'll just say one more thing. Did you guys see the video I put in the Discord about comparing cats to guns?
What?
So, a really good friend of mine, we don't talk politics, this is the only reason we're good friends, was like, hey, is this a good video to show conservatives about gun control? Because I feel like this has a pretty good conservative bent. And I watched the video and I was like, what? This is not a conservative bent. This is about as left as you can go.
So what's the name of the video and stuff? What's the video kind of about?
It's basically saying that not all cats are bad, but there are some scary, mean cats that attack people. And even though Miss NRA loves all cats, she should be told that, there are some bad cats. Never mind that Miss NRA did not teach the cat to attack. The cat is something that can attack of its own accord. Never mind the fact that guns are objects that have to be used.
Well,
not to mention the irony of the whole entire clear backpack thing that I've heard. I don't know if it's true or not, but I've just seen it everywhere on fucking Facebook because of the people I follow. But they're talking about like making it a law so that kids going to school have to have clear backpacks so you can see what's inside of it. And they're like, but
there better be a fucking dildo in one of those backpacks. I'm gonna be pissed.
Exactly.
But they're like, well, only a few people will abuse this privilege, and it doesn't reflect on the majority. And it's like, wow, the irony.
Exactly.
What the fuck was that?
That was her clapping. It's called a slow clap, Nat.
Can I also just say that like you guys should just ban guns and then your mass killings will be done with like trucks like they are over here. Problem solved.
And acid and knives and even guns, because apparently there was someone shot outside your mom's house, Nat.
You know what? Like when you see victims of acid attacks, it's fucking awful. I think I'd rather be fucking shot. Like the Katie Piper, she got splashed with acid from her abusive boyfriend or something like that, and her face was ruined. She had to wear like a mask so that her face would like stop hurting all day. She had to have so much reconstructive surgery. It went in her throat, so she can't eat properly. She has to throw up whenever she eats. She went blind in one eye, and it's like, Jesus fuck it. And she used to be a model as well, but I guess now she's kind of a model because it's like a body positivity thing. But she's not gonna have the career that she used to have.
And this is why people who do acid attacks should be given like 50 years mandatory. Because you're talking about like deforming somebody. I mean,
you're also talking about something that can't easily be remedied. Like,
yeah,
if you get shot, unless it is a sadistic bastard who's chosen the right kind of bullet that does a shitload of damage, generally speaking, surgery can help, and there's therapy. Acid is a little harder to fix.
Exactly.
Just a little. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, Nat's shown me the pictures of the gal that she's talking about, and even after she sunk so much money in cosmetic surgery, she's still scarred badly, and it's fucking mental that people will, like, you know, if a date goes bad, they'll throw acid in your face, and it's like, this is the kind of person you do not want out ever in society.
Yes.
Guys, we should just ban acid. It's that simple.
Where
No, you know what?
It already is.
Do you know what else as well? It's these people, the BBC releasing like videos like, oh, how to do your makeup when you've been acid attacked, like normalizing it as if this shit is fucking should be accepted and tolerated. Like, what the fuck?
Exactly.
That's fucked up. That's beyond fucked up.
The fuck?
Oh, they're doing the same thing in schools though now. So.
Also, going back to Oblivion real quick, can I just say that? Can I just say that Shea Gorath is one of the best voiced video game characters in the history of video games.
Oh my gosh, yes. Someone did a prank with that to a pizza place. It was the most glorious thing I've ever done. I think they also did him with Skyrim too, when they did the same voice actor, I think.
God damn, I love Shea Gorath. I love him more in Oblivion than in fucking Skyrim. In Skyrim, he looks kind of boring. In Oblivion, he's all colorful and he's like, oh my god, it's him. I love him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love him so much. He is the best one out of all the Daedric lords. Right next to Nocturnal because she's a sexy bitch.
Oh, motherfucker, the fucking skeleton key. It's the best fucking thing.
Oh yes, I have that thing.
Jesus Christ!
For once, I'm in a video game conversation. I have no idea what the fuck you guys are talking about.
Let's play this fucking
Don't
game.
worry, you're not alone.
Damn it! We need to make video game conversations more safe for men, because apparently you ladies are just like completely stealing all of the airtime talking about video games, and I can't get a word.
When I come over, Matt, I'm gonna make you sit down and play Oblivion.
Oh, you got to video it. You know.
Yeah, we can stream it.
Stream it.
Oh no.
Well, I keep saying that if Nat and Fubu get this girl on girl or whatever they're gonna call their own little let's play thing going, go play it, go crazy. But as for me right now, I'm playing Witcher 3 because I've actually read most of the books now, and I fucking love the world. So I'm just gonna. I hate fantasy, hate it, but the Witcher stuff is fun.
I hate fantasy, but
I do hate fantasy. Yeah, elves and dwarves and shit. Every time I hear,
Screw you, that elves are hot.
Wait, does that mean that you hate Zelda?
Oh.
I mean, the Highlands are basically like elves.
Matt,
where's that eject button?
I'm gonna avoid this question.
Oh look!
Matthew, look at my Oblivion character, Matt, and tell me you wouldn't tap that.
I need a picture of mine. I need.
Where'd you post it?
In Discord.
Yeah,
on the
general.
Yeah, general.
I mean,
get out the corner blog.
Okay.
She looks fine.
Here's a question that. First of all, another thing with girls and gaming. Okay, you've intentionally made your character look good looking and beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful eyes, hair, even revealing clothing that looks kind of like Xena warrior princess kind of stuff, right? Okay, that is a power fantasy, is it not? Video games are power fantasies.
Yes.
I mean,
as a woman, I imagine this is coming from a guy. As a woman, to be beautiful, considered beautiful, that's powerful, isn't it?
Are you shitting me?
It's awesome.
Okay,
It's the best thing ever.
The best example I can think of is when I first started playing Xenoblade X, and at the character creation screen, I spent 30 minutes just going through everything and thinking, okay, I want to look badass, but I kind of want it to look like me so that I can get lost in it. And by the time I finished, I wanted to look like her. Now, I never would because she was way taller than me, like way sexier. But I was just like, holy shit, I want to look like this.
Kind
of the same. I tried to just make my character kind of look like me as much as possible, but then also like I'm kind of wishing like, oh, I wish I had like blue skin and red eyes. Like, what the fuck?
Okay, now see, you guys just don't know what feminism is about. See, you guys need to be re-educated. You guys need to go back to college because I have the moral high ground. I went to my social justice club, and I can tell you without putting any effort into it myself.
Considering switching colleges.
I can tell you without putting any effort in myself that I am morally above you.
Good job.
And I think you guys should be taking what I say is the gospel truth, and that you guys are just wrong. And you know what? If you guys
on top are you talking about? Are you talking on top of us or something else?
I'm just saying I'm better than you.
Yeah, I'm fucking better than you. Much better.
Oh, God.
I'm sorry, ladies, but that's just what this is the kind of shit that I hear whenever people attack girls and like sexy women and stuff in video games, right? From the side, I hear all the stupid arguments about, well, you're just not educated. Well, you know, you got to be progressive.
Can I just say that with Oblivion, there is the other extreme as well. When me and my brother first got the game, like back when it first came out, we tried to make our character look as stupid as possible.
Oh, God.
Apparently, you didn't find. There are some ugly ass women in Oblivion. It's just unreal. Like, we saw one lady in of the stables, and it was dark as fuck in there. And we're like, oh, she ain't that bad looking. She got to like, oh dear Lord, burn it with fire.
Yeah, I don't know any at least I don't know any girls who played Oblivion who like willingly played as an orc. Maybe some guys, but yeah, no one was playing as a fucking orc
because no one wants to. Like, what would you rather stare at for like 40 hours? Would you rather stare at an ugly piece of shit or a sexy piece of shit?
Well,
hell yeah.
I gotta say, there was the one time I did an Argonian, but then again, I'm a furry and a skeely, so it doesn't matter for me.
Yeah, Argonians are
okay,
cool,
we gotta cycle some new people in here now.
Oh, you're not giving me
that.
I missed last month. I get to stay.
Oh, that's true.
But to end at least my little rant, Jordan Peterson once said on about social justice warriors that it's narcissism, easy virtue, and unearned moral superiority. And from what I've witnessed firsthand, that's fucking spot on. So
yes,
sorry for razzing you guys, but that is just what I've learned.
Mm-hmm.
No, we get it. We understand.
All right. And then I think it's my time to bow out. I apologize for making us talk about gun control.
No, that's fine. It was going to happen anyway.
It's inevitable at this point.
I'm just so pissed off.
Yeah, well, no, that's fine. Air it. And you know what? If someone wants to come on here and air why we need to have gun control, I don't give a fuck, to be honest. This is your guys' time, and I am open pro debate, pro protesting. It's just I will determine whether or not you guys are talking out of your asses or not. using my own subjective opinion, but I'm joking. So, anyways, right. We're gonna cycle in some new people. Apparently, I have Transmission Rory talking about that guy with the glasses. And that guy with the glasses scandal coming up. And the reason why I want to tackle this is because originally CCS started out as that guy with the glasses hate mob. So, yeah. Anyways,
all right. Well,
we'll let you two ladies go, and then I'll cycle.
I will keep tuning in, but I will go. Bye, guys.
Is there anything you want? Is there anything you want to like chill before you leave?
Nerf guns are not dangerous.
Yes.
I bet she works for Nerf.
What was the name of that game again? Humans versus Zombies?
Mm-hmm.
All right, just checking. Anyways, Kit Kat, we'll let you go too. I'm going to bring in Transmission Rory.
Yeah, that's cool with me. Natalie, we need to talk about this game more. I love this game. Yeah. And stream it.
Yeah, we should do.
Yeah.
She'll make me play it, I bet you.
But she better. And she better make you a pretty ass bitch. That's what I want.
All right. Anyways, I'm sending an invite to Transmission Rory right now.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
All right. Thanks for joining us, Kit Kat. We appreciate it.
Elves
and people, ladies and gentlemen, if you are actually watching this and you get this far into this video, Kit Kat here is the one who commissioned that picture of me in the Friday the 13th couch co-op that's being released, where it has my bare ass hanging out. Hey, you know what? I'm sex positive. Whatever. You know, girls need their eye candy too. That's fine. I'm happy to watch.
Boys, it look good.
Apparently, Nat's busty picture thinks so. Holy crap!
That was hot too.
All right.
That was an added bonus.
No kidding.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Bye. 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 I'm going. Bye.
Oh, did you guys hear that apparently a bunch of SJWs are flipping their shit because Roseanne came back on TV and it's actually kind of really popular, despite it being about conservative family.
Really?
Gee, social justice warriors offended about something. Another thing that's blowing my mind today.
It even has a character in it, one character in particular who's actually an out and out Trump supporter, and people are flipping their shit because the ratings are really good, and it's causing them to ask if they should bring back the Tim Allen TV show they cancelled.
Oh my gosh.
Well, again, there's gatekeepers out there, and it's a fucking scary thing. Regardless, what side it's pandering to, it's just genuinely discouraging and despicable. So,
yeah.
Anyways, transmission Rory, come on down.
Drawing
your
He's here, but I don't hear him.
Is hard.
Put down the Guinness man.
What?
There we go.
Yay!
Now we hear you.
Hello?
Hello, transmission Rory. Who do you want to bring in with you for this particular topic?
I believe Dust wanted to chime in on this conversation.
Dust it is. Dust, come on down.
That's
the wrong thing to the price right.
Dude.
Oh, you're drinking Heineken. Ugh.
What?
Heineken?
I took your offer off. I tried a Sam Adams. It was okay. Well, I'm sorry. The Dutch need a few better lagers.
The first Heineken I ever drank was just so fucking skunky. I mean, it wasn't the first and last one I drank, but it was the first one I drank, and it was just really, really, really bad. But the other one subsequent one was pretty good. But I just always think of that scene from Blue Velvet where Dustin Hoffman's like Pabst Blue, he's like Pabst Blue Ribbon. Heineken, fuck yeah, shit. All right, so now preface this discussion about that guy with the glasses. First, I gotta say that CCS originally had a very long forum, which is now pretty much dead now that we're all in Discord app.
Yeah.
Although people are welcome to join the forum and subscribe and all that kind of stuff, we appreciate just being a fan. Anyways, I gotta suck a lot of dick on this thing just to get people to watch us. So, anyways, it's like Pornhub. So, anyways, so we had a long forum, and most of it was just a lot, and past and sub-present CCS members were just ragging on That Got the Glasses, thinking it's just the most insane thing on television, on YouTube. It was boring. It was annoying. Right. And we decided, hey, you know what? Instead of bitching, let's actually make something. So we decided to do this, and we're nowhere near as big and experienced and popular and well off as That Got the Glasses is. So in that respect, we failed. So, anyways, tell us about the topic.
Okay, so I don't know if any of you have been hearing lately, especially in chat, but there have been a number of members leaving Channel Awesome lately, mainly because they are sick of the treatment on the network, mainly because of, I believe, one contributor by the name of Marsgo. She was posting on her blog a number of violations or just pure incompetency that the company has done over the years. Like, for example, during the filming of their 4th anniversary, To Boldly Flee, they did not provide the cast and crew with water or food, which is pretty much a prerequisite for filming on movie sets. Even Tommy Wiseau had that basic comprehension done.
Dust, you got a bunch of background noise.
Oh, that's probably the fans of that. Yeah.
Right. Anyways, continue.
People have been leaving off the site. Mainly one of their biggest contributors, Linkara, or Top the Fourth Wall, as some people know him. And some people have been commenting, "Oh well, why didn't the site leave a big farewell?" I mean, he was on the channel for I believe 10 years, and they didn't give him a farewell video. They just kind of deleted all of his content and just scoured his entire existence from the site, which some people that has raised eyebrows. And yeah, a number of contributors have pretty much had their say. I believe even like a couple of years ago, Lorecat did a whole video series just exposing the site for what it really is.
Yep, I remember hearing about that one.
Even Jim.
Hi, Nat.
Oh, hello now.
Show us your boobs.
Get fucked.
Quick cosplay.
I absolutely signed out of the fucking what's name because I was trying to get. What the fuck?
Is the background noise gone?
Yeah, it's gone, dude.
Someone was masturbating in the background. What's happened?
No, it's my ceiling fan. I've had to close. I had to turn it on because I had to close the windows because it's been raining.
See, Nat, he was just edging, just waiting to see your picture.
Jesus Christ.
He's edging himself, just almost at the edge of orgasm, and then he came on, all of a sudden, just boom, it was done.
Yeah, no, that's not. That wasn't what was happening. Anyway, sorry.
So I missed
what
that
I was doing.
I missed that last portion of the conversation. Has that guy with the glasses been convicted of sexual misconduct yet, like everyone else?
No, he's not that leftist.
I believe they have. I believe they've been alleged on sexual harassment charges, mainly
Jesus
from
Christ.
the. Okay, basically, I heard the story about one of the former heads up, Mike Ellis. He was accused by this former contributor, Hope Winning Chaos, who was like a video game Let's Player, of sexually harassing him, like sending sexually explicit emails to him while drunk. And I believe the chat log is somewhere up there. You'll just have to like search the hashtag and change the channel log. I believe everyone has a lot of evidence on the claims that these accusers have.
Yeah, I mean, I remember the last thing I really heard about that guy with the glasses was the big Spoonie incident, because Spoonie was one of the few people that actually went to the channel to watch because he was only one of the really only funny ones, until he just kind of decided to fuck off. But I always remember Benzai, and when I was reading that list of allegations, Benzai said that he was basically just kicked off the channel without ever giving any notice, and it was this Mike McCod guy that everyone seems to hate because he's kind of a prick.
Mike was shot.
Yeah,
that's it.
Someone's still masturbating in the background.
Sorry.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't me.
Well, anyways, so I don't know whether these are. It seems like a lot of hearsay, but again, it's a lot of people saying the same thing, so there might be some great hashtag Me Too.
Yeah, I believe also they're on about. I heard of a guy called Dan Olson. He is a YouTuber that goes by the name Full Human.
I don't know. I never watched that guy with the glasses.
I stopped watching them ages ago. Ever since I actually started making.
Okay, well, anyway, one of the allegations as well was Dan Olson. He's kind of like this notable social justice warrior, mainly with Lindsay Ellis and all her crowd. Anyway, he made like this anti-Gamergate video that some people say that got him sacked off the site, which, if you know anything about Dan Olson, you know that could be a little bit of hearsay, mainly because of that whole child porn scandal that he got caught up in.
Yeah, they wouldn't have kicked him off the site for that. Most of the contributors there were anti-Gamergaters anyway, to an almost unhealthy degree.
Yeah, if it was pro-Gamergate, they might have kicked him off, but...
Well, didn't Todd in the Shadows tweet out support for, oh god, what was the name? Sarah Nyberg?
Yeah.
Ugh. Yeah, there's some not right people at that site.
Oh, there's some absolute lunatics on that site. Like, what was it? This happened to me before. I believe one of the contributors there, goes by the name Owen Citizen. He's like, basically, he plays this snobby film critic, but not as a character. Like, that's him generally as a person. And one of the things I found out about him is that he will book you if you dare mention eggnog to him. Not because of social justice issues, not because you have a dissenting opinion. Eggnog. That's the reason that guy blocks you.
What the fuck?
Eggnog? Is this like the lamp thing?
Sorry?
Oh, apparently Lord Cat was making fun of someone, and they called him a racist fixture at Gamergate, and they just sort of got on the subject, made fun of it, saying that Lord Cat was a racist lamp, and just making fun of the whole thing. I think. No, I'm rambling. Sorry.
I think you're on about that Lord Cat stream where he makes fun of Linkara just for like a lamp review. He just called the idea stupid. I think that's what you're probably thinking of.
Yeah, I think Dan Olson may have called him a fixture and mainstay of Gamergate or something. Dan Olson's weird.
I mean, I wish I had something to contribute to this conversation, but I don't know who any of these people are.
One of the things I kind of rag on about the site for is, if any of you have heard of it, judging my Nat, I'm sure she's not heard this, but this whole pop quiz hotshot Kickstarter that they had on the site, which I believe was like they were looking for 90 grand, and when 45. You look at the end result, it looked 45. Sorry, but they got 90 grand, but the end result looks fucking horrible. It looks incredibly cheap. Even the pilot they shot, like the host, Brad Jones, he really does not look like he wants to be there. Like
he didn't.
The alarms, like the lights on the alarms, they look like Tupperware cups, not proper lights.
Well, that's something that I remember I think it was Kick-Assia came out, and it just looked like such an incomprehensive in what's the right word?
Incomprehensible.
But what's the right word for shit?
Indecipherable.
Insufferable.
Keep going.
Bane of existence.
Oh fuck! I can't remember the exact word though, but it doesn't matter. Anyways, I remember that when I first saw a bit of that, for being a channel full of critics, they did a piss poor job of actually making a movie.
It's the great irony. It's like they criticize people for bad movies, yet they can't make a movie themselves.
Guys, you do realize you're saying that, but then you also have channels like Red Letter Media.
No. Red Letter Media makes intentional shit. There's a big difference, well, and it's totally competent. Incompetent was a word I was thinking of earlier. Incompetent, but Red Letter Media at least makes something competent.
Well, even then, like Red Letter Media, like at least their criticisms are legit. It's not fucking summary of the movie just for a review.
It's and this is one of my biggest contentions with that guy at the glasses in general was back in the days of anytime Doug Walker got angry at a point in the movie, he'd shoot off his fake gun and he'd keep on rehashing the same fucking joke over and over and over, just beating the dead horse. Big lipped alligator moment. I was frozen today, and it's like
back credit card.
Yeah, I mean, something may have been funny, like the whole back credit card rant at the very, very beginning, but to keep on just beating it over and over and over and over again, it just was like, So
it's like looking at a joke on Family Guy, where it's like, yeah, the joke was funny at once, but then the more you use it, you're just like, no, well, then the novelty soon wears off.
You're wrong, okay? Seeing a guy beating up a chicken for the 6,000th time, it's funny.
Well, the reason
I'm sure Seth MacFarlane is an intelligent buck.
One of the funniest things I've ever seen was on the TV series Metalocalypse. There's a point where the entire band goes into a comedy club, right? And I'm sure I posted this on the Discord app, but the comedian up in front, the quote unquote comedian up atop of the stage is basically just throwing out references and people are laughing. And that's like the state of modern comedy, like Big Bang Theory, everything else. It's just tossing out reference like He-Man, Masters of the Universe, Ninja Turtles.
That's why I'm apprehensive.
The state of modern comedy is let's all bash politics and Donald Trump. I think that's the natural state of comedy.
I'm very apprehensive about Ready Player One because it just seems to be referenced the movie. I doubt there's actually even a movie in there. It's just, I mean, it's absolutely. It's actually even dated. It's dated now. It's not even out yet. Half of the references and the things that they use in it are way gone.
Dated on arrival.
And do you know what? It actually hurts me because Back to the Future is my favorite movie, and it hurts me to see them using the DeLorean in that movie because I'm like, oh god,
Would it hurt you more? Would it hurt you more to say that they were using the bike from Akira in that?
Not really, because
What?
Back to the Future is like up there.
Oh, come on, that bike is kick-ass.
Yeah, the only thing that would be worse is if the main character was wearing Marty McFly's fucking puffer jacket thing.
Well, that's the thing about using like pop cultural references. I guess we can tie this into That Guy with Glasses as well. Using pop cultural references, they really are just do not. Sure, they may seem like fresh now, but 5 years down the road, they will just be dead or dated on. Like when you look at them, you're like, oh, a Nokia S7 joke. Oh, ha, that's timely.
You know what? One of the only comedies on television that's been on for like over 5 years and is still funny is Always Sunny in Philadelphia. And
Well, a decade, but yeah.
yeah, but they did an episode where I can't remember what it's called. I think it was called like Old Lady House or something like that, where they set up cameras in Charlie's mum's house, and then they to see what they're doing, and then they start adding laughing sound effects and things like that, and making a TV show out of it. And since watching that, I struggled to watch like shows with laughter in it, because it just kind of exposed it for me. And the thing is, that's one of the things I love about Always Sunny is that they didn't feel lazy enough to put in an audience and having a laugh track. That was ruining it for me.
That's the thing as well about It's Always Sunny. It's like the perfect anti-sitcom. Like where regular sitcoms see like characters improve or learn a lesson, It's Always Sunny. It's just like these horrible people learning nothing in the end and just getting like their comeuppance.
Well, Rob McElhenney, however the fuck you say his name, the whole reason Mac got fat was because he said that he said he was his own protest because all of these characters in these sitcoms, they always like get more attractive as the show goes on, even when the whole point is that they're supposed to be unattractive and nerdy, like in The Big Bang Theory. So this was like his own protest against that. He intentionally, in real life, put on all that weight and then lost it again just so he could be fat in the show.
Well, let me ask this though. Like you said you can't sit through an audience with laughter. So, are you saying to me, say if it was like an English comedy show, could you not sit through something like, say, Black Books or Red Dwarf without like cracking a laugh?
No, I didn't say I couldn't watch it. It's just that I find it harder to watch it, sort of thing. Like something like Friends, I find it like harder to watch because you can see, especially not so much shows where like you know that the audience is really there and really laughing, but the ones where you can tell, they just added that laugh in, like The Big Bang Theory.
Yes.
Actually, I believe someone did an experiment. It was like they edited The Big Bang Theory but took all the laughs out, and once you realize there's no laughs.
There's two versions of that. There's one where they took the laugh out and it's really bad. But then there's another one where they replaced the laugh with Ricky Gervais's laugh. And that one's
I believe they also did a version where they replaced the laugh with Homer Simpson's laugh. And at one point he just says, "I don't get it."
That's funny.
Well, it's like when my parents watched The Big Bang Theory, which makes me cringe. I mean, I was sitting there reading Thus Spoke Zarathustra while they're watching The Big Bang Theory. I got to the point about The Last Man, about people being complacent and all that kind of shit and living painful lives and just basically not achieving anything. And I was sitting there going, yeah, this is eerie. But anyway, so I did a bit of an experiment, right? My mom, every time the laugh track comes on, she laughs, right? So what I did was I waited for a part where there was like no joke. And I laughed. I started laughing like out loud, like I was genuinely laughing. And my mom started laughing too.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, so this is actually a thing. And
you know what?
Well, isn't it like one of those psychological things where you will laugh when everyone else is laughing?
It's bandwagon.
When I was at Matt's parents' house, I showed his mum an episode of the IT Crowd. It was the episode where they go to the theater. And like Matt said that it was one of the first times that she's seen like a canned laughter show and was like genuinely actually laughing at it and not just laughing because a laugh track came on.
Right.
It was when it's the bit where like he comes out in the wheelchair and she's just like, what the fuck? And then she turns around and then Moss is behind the bar. It's like,
yeah. See, that's the thing though is whenever there's a TV show that has canned laughter, it's there intentionally to make it so that the show is funnier than it really is. It's kind of like when MASH came out, right? The classic television series.
Yeah.
I believe it had canned laughter originally in the States, but then they tried taking the series over to England and they actually removed canned laughter because people thought it was horrible.
Yeah.
Well, like, there was another show I was watching on Netflix. I'm not sure if any of you heard this. Have you heard of this program called Toast of London?
No.
Nope.
Okay, basically it's a program with Matt Berry, the guy from the IT Crowd,
Yeah,
as
I
like
love
this failing
Matt
actor in London. Yeah, he plays like this failing actor who can't get like work.
I think I've seen it. I think I saw it advertised, but at that time I didn't know who he was, so I didn't watch it.
Yeah, so the main thing about the show is that it does not have canned laughter as opposed to, say, the other creative shows. So it kind of leaves your interpretation of whether you laugh at these jokes or not. And then, you know, pretty much 5 out of 10 times I was laughing at these jokes because they were that funny. You know, like they didn't need canned laughter to make it hilarious.
No, same with Always Sunny, and I think as well that guy, what was his name? The guy who did the Fall of the Simpsons Why It Happened video, a fellow Irishman.
Oh, Wolf.
That guy, yeah. He was saying about how the old Simpsons episodes were designed so that you couldn't put a laugh track in because the jokes just happened in such rapid succession that it would ruin the moment. Whereas the new episodes now, a laugh track would fit perfectly over the top of it, and that's kind of why it fails. So maybe,
you couldn't put a laugh track in regardless because like it's an animated show. Like the characters can't react to the audience going on screen.
Excuse me, Scooby-Doo would like to disagree there.
Yeah.
Futurama would like to counter it with their satire of Scooby-Doo.
No, but do you know what else I was thinking about as well? Is that, you know, Always Sunny, I actually find Caitlin Olsen funny, and there's not a lot of women that I do find funny, and it's not a sexist thing.
Well,
it's because
it's because women just aren't funny.
Yeah, exactly.
It's because, you know what it is? It's because men are willing to put themselves in embarrassing situations and situations where they make themselves lower than you in order to, you know, get a laugh, and that's what's funny. And not a lot of women do that because they have too much, you know, dignity, or they have too much like they think
they're too full of themselves.
Yeah, essentially. Whereas the funniest women are the ones that can take the piss out of themselves and allow them to be the butt of themselves, to be the butt of the joke. Like Caitlin Olsen does a lot in Always Sunny. She's, you know, whether she's getting set on fucking fire, or that episode in the dentist system where she's just like pathetically falling into the bush and then crawling away going, I'm independent, I don't need you.
Well, then I'd ask you, like, have you ever seen like Archer? Have you seen like Cheryl and Pam on that program?
No, I've never seen Archer.
God damn, those two are the funniest on that show. Like one of them is like this fat obese person who is just like comes up with the most craziest shit. So she'll eat like cocaine, just get really thin. And another one is just like this necrophiliac who gets off on people like choking her while during sex.
Oh jeez.
She's a necrophiliac? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, she's a necrophiliac who gets off on people strangling her, or say if you slap her in the face, she'll just get aroused. She'll be like,
are you sure
sorry,
not,
I slapped you.
Thinking of like a masochist versus a necrophiliac?
Masochist. Yeah, necrophiliacs are people who are sexually attracted to dead people.
Well, either way, she's up for the stick.
Same thing.
Either way, it's weird. We know what you're saying, though. Continue.
Yeah, though, like going on to that subject though about women who take the piss out of themselves. This is why comedians like Amy Schumer just fail at their material, because when you look at Amy Schumer, you just think, oh, it's this smug personality who thinks lower of the common folk, and yet she's making jokes where she just shacks a bunch of lads. It doesn't work because, you know.
Like one of the funniest women who used to make me laugh a lot, and probably my favorite like female comedian is fucking Jesus Christ. Suddenly I forgot. Suddenly, no, not Marianne Hart. Suddenly I've forgotten her fucking name. What is it?
Is she Yank or British?
No, she's British. Catherine Tate, that's it. She used to make.
Yeah.
She makes me laugh so much, and like it's because she know the characters that she plays. They're not like flattering characters. You know what I mean? They're all kind of depraved and like sick and undignified. And because she allows herself to play those characters, because she doesn't have that sense of, you know, superiority, that's why it's funny.
Well, that's the thing as well with Catherine Tate, is you just easily slide into the character where you're not looking at Catherine Tate playing a character. You're looking at an actual person on screen. You're like, for example, the cursing granny. You're like that.
Yeah.
I look at it, I'm thinking, oh, that looks like an OAP, just getting cursing a lot and swearing.
Yeah, like the female comedians are always like afraid to go that extra mile and to push themselves because they don't want to, you know, end up being embarrassed or whatever.
Yeah.
Men tend to not have that problem.
Like, that's the key with comedy. Sometimes misery is the best kind of comedy you can look at. You know, like, for example, It's Always Sunny. These characters are just like the most miserable, you know, like disgusting people on Philadelphia, but they always get their comeuppance in the end.
Yeah, I mean, Danny DeVito is the most depraved and miserable of them all, and he's the funniest. So
yeah,
exactly. Or,
it's like that
or
say,
for example, Father Ted. Father Jack is like the funniest character on that program because, you know, like, he is so sick of his like, he hates his very existence. He just has drinking himself to a stupor where he's not even incomprehensible. You know, like, and he's probably the funniest guy because just the amount of random stuff he'll come out with.
Anyways, sorry to interrupt.
What?
First of all,
what the hell, Matt?
First of all, Duke and Hidden, you guys' invites are sent, and if you guys don't hurry up and claim them, I'm gonna like get someone else.
Give them to someone else, yeah.
And second of all, this might be like a hasty generalization of women, so feel free to call me a sexist. I don't give a fuck. But there's a thing out there. It's called hypergamy.
Hello.
Where
What's up, Duke?
Where women
Token
tend
black
to try
guy
to
here.
Diversity quotas reached.
Yeah, pretty much. We got an
Anyways.
Irish man, we got a black man, we got Matt.
An Aussie and a British.
Exactly.
Anyways, Matt, please continue.
Anyways.
You had a point.
So
you're gonna get at.
women tend to try to marry up in status, right? I mean, you never really see a whole lot of like women marrying down. You don't see like the CEO, female CEO of a Fortune 500 company marrying below her station. You never really see actresses marry someone who's not an actress or a millionaire or an actor or a millionaire or some other type of like really, really hyper successful figure, right? So is it kind of the same thing with comedy where women don't want to debase themselves, they don't want to lower their stature?
yes, that's essentially it. Yeah.
That's why women are funny.
And
they take
that's
themselves too seriously.
and that's why
Okay,
feminists.
think of it.
Wait,
Think of it this way.
wait. Shut the fuck up!
I'm
I'm mute you.
No, listen. I'm just adding.
I'm talking here.
I'm
this
just
is
adding
my-
on to your point.
No,
I'm just adding on to your point, just quickly, because you asked. Listen, because you
Now I'm muted, Natalie.
asked me a question, so I'm.
God
adding
damn
on.
it!
The mutes. Well, no,
Mute. No, I was going to say this is why feminists.
Listen.
This is why
Here's just-
feminists are always
Someone please
bitching.
find the
Is
gap.
because this is why feminists are always bitching is because they got to punch up. They're trying to get up in status, and the only thing they can use is their mouths.
Listen, all I was going to do was I was going to add on as a counter question. You know the fat guy in fucking Jesus Christ, I'm doing horrible with names. What's it called?
Yeah, no, what the hell?
The meaning of life, right? The fat guy in that.
Right.
Mr.
Right,
Creaser.
the one who explodes, yeah. Do you think a woman would play a character like that?
No.
Or in addition to that, the fat bastard character from Austin Powers. Do you think a woman would play a character like that?
No.
No.
Exactly.
What about the? I think Nat can comment on this. What about the woman character in Little Britain who does the Fat Fighters group? You think a woman would play that?
Yeah. No.
No.
But that's the point. That's the point. Men are willing to embarrass themselves and, you know, lower themselves for the sake of comedy, and a lot of women aren't.
Unless you're Amy Schumer, but she's not very good at it.
When Amy Schumer does it, it comes across as disgusting. Not
Yeah.
Or Lena Dunham or Sarah Silverman. Take your pick.
It's because those people actually are disgusting in real life, whereas you know that the others are just acting.
Can we at least catapult those three into somewhere like Quebec?
I mean,
I'm sure Angie
How
would be
about
really
Guantanamo
happy
Bay?
about that.
I mean, looking back
Like-
on comedy, like the only woman that I've ever found hilarious was like back in the 70s, and that was Carol Burnett.
Wait,
Yeah,
was
but
that Gene
again-
Wilder's wife?
Carol Burnett she's the woman who like runs the orphanage in Annie.
Oh.
Yeah.
Carol Burnett show, she actually did, and Mel's right. She actually did a lot of like self-debasing humor, and that's what made her funny, and that's what makes guys funny too. I mean, I still think this is it. I think that women are less likely to debase themselves and lower themselves. And
yeah, because they feel like they have to be superior. So.
Yes.
And
again, that's why I think that feminists, that's why they bitch so much, is because that's all they have. they certainly don't have looks.
Well done, sir. Well done.
I'm gonna violate one of Bill Burr's greatest like commandments or whatever on comedy, and I'm gonna say, yeah, I said it.
Yeah. Okay.
Matt, you fucking Mary.
You're so fuck fast.
But anyways, we're gonna let transmission and Dust go and bring in Duke and Hidden.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah.
All right.
No
All
worries.
right. Thanks for joining us, guys. This is great.
Always a pleasure. Bye bye.
Always a pleasure.
Bye.
And
Can you guys hear me okay?
Oh, hello, Hidden.
Heyo.
Greetings.
Hello, Token.
Okay, so I'm gonna be honest. I know like little to nothing about like Marvel and DC. I try to keep up with it, but half the time I just don't know what the fuck's going on. So I'm gonna try to tackle this as best as I can from the standpoint of criticism. At least I know a little bit about A Wrinkle in Time and why fucking Ava should not be directing anything after A Wrinkle in Time.
Really? I haven't seen it yet. And such. Well, we're talking about Anna DeVay taking directing, supposedly directing, the DC film adaptation of The New Gods, which is I mean, she has had interesting movies in the past. She has done. Let's see. She was one of the directors of Selma, which got a lot of a lot of awards. No, it didn't get many awards and such, but it got a lot of critical acclaim and such. I liked the movie.
Well, I haven't. I'll say this: I haven't finished A Wrinkle in Time yet. I haven't finished all of it, but I have watched a good portion of it, and I can guarantee you, just from what I've seen, it is probably the worst Disney movie I have seen in years, and that's saying something. That is saying something. The budget, like they were given so much budget, but everything in the movie looks like shit. All the acting is terrible, especially the child actors, and I don't give a shit what anyone says. Child acting can be good. It's not going to be great, but it can be good. So the fact that all of it was just terrible is saying something.
But I heard mixed things about it, and your experience was not good. But a lot of people have said the Cinema Score film gave it a B on the A and F scale, and it made. Well, it's gonna even out its budget. So
make what it make its budget back. Yeah, essentially.
Yeah. So it's gonna break even. So not gonna be too much. But to me, when I look at say The New Gods, because she does for it's going to be a really difficult task because The New Gods, well, as much as I know, people think of The New Gods, you think of Darkseid, you think of Orion, all that type of stuff. But it is way more. You have all these other characters. You have the list of New Gods. You have Big Bertha. You have Mr. Miracle. All these people who are the inhabitants of New Genesis. The Old Father, Orion. You got the Black Racer, the Forever People. Let's see, like I said, Darkseid. You have Grady Goodness, Calabac. There's a whole lot of other stuff in this entire series. In the DC universe did have people around. You have Steppenwolf, and he made an experience in Justice League, and I like Justice League, even though people think it was really disappointing. I really enjoyed it, even though the CGI was a little iffy. Then again, that's the problem with most superhero films nowadays. CGI is questionable.
Yeah.
Well, that's just going to happen in general because every year the CGI scene happens it's going to look even worse the next year, and the next year it's just going to keep on compounding. Versus practical effects that can always look good, like The Thing, John Carpenter's The Thing. Versus I'm sorry to say this, Nat, though, but I watched a couple of scenes from the 2000s Scooby Doo movie and the CG in it, and it looks like garbage.
You thought I would be offended by you saying that? Fucking, it was dated back then.
But yeah, it's a very interesting. I honestly think the only way you could do it is kind of be like the New Gods should be like something right out of American Gods. You ever saw that TV series? It was on Showtime, I believe.
I read the book and I saw a bit of the series.
Yeah, but I think that's probably the only way that will probably be more palatable for the audience and such, because I think that would probably be the only way you could do it, to make these because these are very, really these huge, powerful beings and such, and you need something as a reference point. And maybe they could do, because in fact, Anna DeVay is a fan of Big Barda, of a comic book. She says she really does like her, like her. She's a fan of her. So maybe
isn't that why she's planning on directing it to begin with?
Oh yeah, I don't know personally. I don't know how you're going to, when you look at all this stuff here, is like who are you going to do with these characters? Because there's a whole lot. Honestly, I think it's best if it's a TV series or a miniseries, because all these other things, I think it's just be way too much. And
you can't really cram that into a 2-hour movie. And if you do, then it's either going to feel rushed, it's going to be poorly written and executed, and you're really going to disappoint the fans.
Or you say people are like, oh, wait a minute, you forgot such and such, because there's so many other things. You have, like, for example, like, say, are you going to put like Infinity Man in there? Are you going to put the Monitor in there, because they are the watchers of the entire DC universe? Is Mr. Miracle going to be there? Because supposedly he is part of the New Gods themselves. I think he has to be here. They now have Orion, who is the son of Darkseid. And then you have again, like, you have all these other like characters, everything here that you're gonna have to fit in. And are you going to have like Darkseid? What stories are you gonna put in the New Gods that actually will help shape the new DC universe? Which we will get more into that later on if things go according to plan, right, Matt? Just saying.
Sorry, I was typing. I didn't hear anything.
Oh my god.
The only thing I've seen about A Wrinkle in Time, I haven't really seen a lot. I don't think I've ever seen any like TV ads for it. The only thing I know about it is the Oprah's in it, and the only other thing I've seen Oprah.
Okay, so here's. Sorry, I'm trying not to cut you off. Go ahead.
Oh, it's okay.
I was gonna say there's a really funny scene in the movie with Oprah, and so she's like this giant face it's very obviously green screened, but she's supposed to be talking to the kids in like their backyard.
Green screen phoned in.
And the funny part is, like, whenever she's talking to one of her kids, her eyes go like in this completely different direction. Like, 1 minute she'll be looking at a tree, and then she goes to look at another kid, and it looks like she's like talking to the house.
It's because it is phoned in. That's why, right?
Exactly.
Well, no,
yeah.
The only other thing I've seen Oprah act in is The Butler, and she was pretty good in that. So
last time I saw it was The Color Purple. So I don't know. That was a long time.
Last time I ever saw Oprah was during the Dave Chappelle interview after he came back from Africa.
Oh no, that's actually the two. I've seen her in 2 films actually. She was in fucking. What's it called? She's in The Butler, and she was also the mum in Princess and the Frog. And those are the only 2 films I've seen.
Let's see. Whoa. Let's look at as filmography. Oh, thank you, Wikipedia. So that could be something. Could be wrong 90% of the time, but who cares? Well, she was in Color Purple. Oh my gosh, she was in Charlotte's Web in 2016, the 2006 version of Charlotte's Web.
Oh man.
She was in B Movie.
Wait, for real?
Really?
Yes, Judge Bumbleton.
Oh my fucking god.
Dang it, this is Wikipedia, so.
Oh, that's great. I think
Okay.
the issue with the acting in A Wrinkle in Time, like Oprah's performance was like, it wasn't even like her. She kind of half-assed it, and I think the issue was just nobody gave enough of a shit about this movie.
Well, see, that's weird to hear because, again, she's the only fucking thing I've heard about this movie is everyone hyping her up. And the thing is, as well, I get vibes from this movie. I feel the same about this movie as I did about that other one, Tomorrowland, that Disney tried to do. I get the same kind of vibe, and that I don't really care. So, like, I'm not going to go see it.
Looked like it was going to be kind of interesting, and then literally after I saw the first trailer, just like, I never heard anything about it again, so I assume it probably didn't do so hot.
No, I didn't, and neither is Wrinkle in Time by the looks of it. I don't think I know anyone who's been to see
A Wrinkle in Time is doing pretty bad, especially for, like I said, this is a fucking Disney movie, and they're barely breaking even. When was the last time that happened?
It's not animated, and it's not a superhero movie, so it doesn't surprise me.
Fair enough.
That's true. That's sad.
John Carter, Mars, whatever the hell it was.
Well, John Carter from Mars was just a bad look anyway, because the Disney tried to do something with that, and they blew that thing up terribly.
Hello?
Whoa!
Hey!
Incoming message with a big giant head.
Oh, sorry. I'm trying to figure out how to.
It's Shinyogo.
I'm trying to figure out how to set it back to.
Just disable your camera.
Okay. Is that better?
There you go. Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, is here.
See, that's what you call, timing, ladies and gentlemen. That's what you got, timing,
I'm sorry.
Oh, man. No, it's okay, dude. It was just unexpected.
That did the same thing, no worries.
Oh my gosh, because but thank you, Drag Slam, because that was great timing, man. We planned this. Remember, we planned this. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Wait a second, Dragon Slayer, dude, are you a fan of Berserk?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I've read quite a bit of Berserk.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
There's another thing we gotta talk about later. Right now, we are talking about DC and the New Gods movie that may or may not be directed by Ava.
Oh, she is. But by the way, in the chat room, Mega Monster 1234. Oh, God says I love this. It says, "Lo, my gender studies professor said the color purple was racist."
How?
The color purple was racist.
Wow. I got.
It was racist. It was racist against purple people.
Let's see. It was about a story focused on life of an African American woman in the 1930s, about all this other stuff about all the nice things that all the liberals speak about.
Shouldn't you watch it with me than watch it again with Alex?
Did you know there was a?
Let me just go right now. Let me go to look at this one more time. I'm looking at this. It's just you have like, oh my gosh, the Wikipedia. It talked about all this other stuff about what's going on in the black, the impoverished black community and such, and yet this is racist. I want to know why. Who actually thought this was racist? I want to actually talk to your gender studies professor.
Here's my question. What color is the gender studies teacher?
That's what I was about to ask.
Is it white and upper class?
I'm betting it's white, upper class, and probably someone who has a purple hair as well.
It's this white man's burden bullshit, is what it is. These rich entitled white people being like, oh, we gotta help you. Low expectations. Oh, it's God fucking hell. I hate these people.
I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding you. These people exist, man.
No, I agree. I agree fully. That's what I'm saying. I hate them.
It's like people of color saying you can't be racist against white people.
Oh my lord! It's just God. Oh, she was an Indian, an old Indian.
Can I just say I hate the phrase people of color, person of color. I fucking hate it. It just sounds like
it's a throwback. It
sounds like you're saying colored person, and it's like
that's what's gonna be. Mark this down, ladies and gentlemen. Mark this down, and hopefully someone's gonna record. We're recording this, and we're gonna put this, so as to say this for prosperity. They're going to have, we're gonna have colored people will be used in 2020. That is gonna be the new phrase for black people.
Are you saying you have 2020 vision?
Yes. Well, you know, hindsight is 2020. But yes, that's what's gonna be it. They're gonna be like black people. You're now gonna be called coloreds now. I'm like,
well,
wait.
that's exactly it. I was watching a Rubin report. I can't remember who was on the show though, but they were basically making the same argument. It was either a Rubin report or it was the Joe Rogan show, and they basically used every single term that white people have used for like blacks, and it made a complete perfect circle all the way back to where it was at. I mean, the only thing that we didn't resort back to was, you know, the N-word. But
that's coming too. It's gonna be like, yeah, and I can't wait. I hope y'all gonna be around for it to see it. And I want this to be like, you can't say the N-word, and the next says the N-word. It's gonna be like, but we saying it like it's not gonna be nigga, or it's gonna be like naive or something like that, and it's gonna be like, what? You said the N-word. Like, no, we didn't. It was it's a new term. But us white people, good white people, come for you. I'm like, that's just racist. You know you're being. Yeah, that's what we're calling her.
See, it's kind of like a gray area just to use nigga. Like if you're white, I feel like the best way to put it at this point is like, if you're with other white people who are saying it's cool. If you have a pass from someone who's black, it's cool. But if you're around black people, you don't know. You just don't say it. That's how it's been in my experience.
Hidden, I'm afraid. I know Duke just used the N-word like 50 times just now, but you just used it once, and you're too privileged to use it. So I'm afraid you're gonna have to leave.
Oh no.
Here's my rule of life. Okay, call people just whatever they want to be called. I don't really give a fuck. I'm not gonna call a group of people anything. I'm not gonna, you know, abide by any of these like, you know, speech codes, kind of like you know, Jordan Peterson always protested. But you know, if you're with somebody and you know they won't be referred to as one thing or not be referred to something, then fine, because you're friends.
It's, you know what? But I had a boyfriend who was black, and he used to like wind me up by trying to make me say the N-word. He thought it was hilarious. Be like, go on, just say it. I'm like, no, I don't want it. And then eventually, when I would say it, it'd be like, like pretend shocked. I'd be like,
yes, I don't care. I don't care. It's not what you call me; it's what I answer to. And honestly, it's the, you know, it's, you know, this the way we just try to say, oh, we pretty up the language, but you're not, you know, your actions prove otherwise. You know, once again, it's the actions you should be judged by, not by the nice, colorful language, you know.
But was it Louis C.K. who said, I did not have relationships with that woman? I'm joking. Louis C.K. actually had like a little bit about how white people saying, quote, the N-word, always saying the N-word is actually kind of like a form of like reverse racism, where we're kind of like, well,
we're giving it power racism. Almost.
But well, it's almost like using the N-word itself. It's like just say it. You're thinking it. You're pretending to say it, but you're pretending to say it.
Oh, I know exactly what skit you're talking about too. And he's like, you're basically just putting the word in my head and making me think it.
Yep.
But
all right. Anyway, before I head out and do my other things and such, I want to say one thing before I go, and that is. You know,
all niggas is crazy.
No, well, that pretty much, that's just fact right there. I was gonna say, but it's funny how that every one of these supposedly these nice little, like, these liberals and such that think they know so much, but yet are probably the most dumbest people to think about race or anything else. So they just watch nothing but I don't think even they watch PBS or anything. They just watch some other stuff that just like, just say, we watch all this stuff on like the news or, all this other progressive thing. We know about the black people. We watched some stuff here. I'm like,
it's that morality thing that I mentioned earlier, where it's that false sense of morality. They can be, I'm above everyone else, and I'm an enlightened person. Yeah. And it's that bullshit.
Well, I'm just gonna just sit back and probably I'm gonna sit back, finally beat this Legend of Zelda Trial of the Sword thing, because that's been kicking my ass for a while. So
speaking of trials and things, Duke, you gonna record with us tomorrow sometime?
Oh yes, I'll probably.
What time works for you?
Whenever really, as long as it's like
before.
Not. Yeah, before like 11, preferably.
So
before
that's,
well, okay.
That's like 4 in the afternoon, 3, something like that.
Yeah.
I'll probably be done with all the the stuff on the church and everything. If I can see if I can make it, I'll probably be stuff like that because it's nice to go to church once in a while on an Easter Sunday.
once a year.
No, I go at least a minimum 3 times a year.
I should actually go to church tomorrow because tomorrow's April Fool's Day. I just want to see if any church pulls a prank.
Oh, I doubt that. Then again, it's going to be on YouTube and it's going to be cringy. As I don't know what.
The joke I was making was the obvious one that it's Easter and April Fool's Day. It's like Jesus is dead. Just kidding.
No, exactly. By the way, the whole he didn't really revive, and all that stuff has been a lie. So we gotta go roast some goats. That's pretty much how we're gonna get us our salvation. We got some goats here. Let's do our thing.
The best would be if like the priest came out onto the little podium bit and just went, "Hail Satan."
I doubt that's not gonna happen in my church at all. But yeah,
or if they want to be like relevant, it'd be like Seek Heil.
Oh gosh, then you will have everyone,
especially
in
the world. Church.
Oh Lord, no, I got black. That's my church. My pastor would turn to Black Hitler. That's gonna be real fun. And I wonder. Then again, CNN won't show up because the preacher's black, but it's white. Man, they'd be coming down with every type of like all the news and everything else. Saying, "Oh my gosh, you're one of those Nazis." Probably got that. Just a worse thing, he's Russian propaganda.
I bet he has a pug.
Oh gosh, he has a pug.
Oh no.
Oh Lord, we're done. It just keeps getting worse, man. Well. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all guys, gals.
We'll message you in Discord app.
Okay, we'll talk to guys, gals, zeers, whatever gender you are.
Squirrelkin.
Squirrelkin.
We're not doing animalkins.
Send.
I draw the line here.
Okay. Note to self: have Fubu draw all anthropomorphic animals of LaughingMan, because I just want to see like all like the cutest one from the bunny to like to let's see what a good cute cats.
Weren't you leaving?
See, I'm seeing that, and now she's muted. She's probably just laughing right now. But anyway,
speaking of muted, I was gonna. Oh,
how
sorry.
did it mute me?
Because Matt just does not.
I did not mute Mel.
LaughingMan, Matt.
How long have you been muted for?
I don't know. I thought I was talking this whole time.
She's talking to herself.
Oh goodness. Well, anyway, if you want to talk to me and such, Discord, Skype, smoke signals, or whatever. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later.
Signals.
We'll send you a message before 2:00 Eastern time.
All right, peace.
Okay.
Later.
I was gonna say Shen said there's not as much background noise anymore, so he wishes to be unmuted.
I think he can unmute himself. It's just that I muted him, so he can go in there and undo it.
Here, I'll let him know.
No, don't do it. All right, I hear him.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. It's like I'm with a few friends of mine, and we've been waiting at this restaurant outside for a while. Cause it's not that we came too late. It's that they do not have much room.
Gotcha.
Well,
yeah,
at least you have friends, you privileged white heterosexual male.
Well,
I don't have friends.
Well, speaking of privileged white male, have y'all heard of that new film from Wes Anderson, Isle of Dogs?
I've had my eye on that movie. I'm planning on seeing that next week since I'm right now.
It's getting critical acclaim, like 93% Rotten Tomatoes, but some journalists have started to accuse the film of cultural appropriation, having quote unquote offensive racial stereotypes of Japanese people.
And the
thing is, the Japanese don't even care. And there was even an article, however, that said I don't care if Asians in Asia aren't offended by offensive Asian stereotypes. Like there was an article that said that.
Yeah.
From a guy named Philip. Like I posted a pic of it.
There's two things I need to add to this conversation real quick. One, Rotten Tomatoes is not a viable source for criticism. The way the rating system works nowadays, they don't look at it from a percentage rate. They look at it from kind of the same way Netflix does it now, where do people think it's good or do people think it's bad? And it's kind of ruined the rating system on their site.
Yeah.
Second off, can we please stop advocating for people who don't care?
You don't understand. They need to be. We're coming. Well, looks like we're coming in, but we're gonna be eating outside, so there won't be as much background noise. That's all. Right. There's a little bit right now, but it's gonna go away soon, I think. Because we're gonna eat outside.
I'm incapable of drawing you these days. Holy cow.
Oh yeah. The thing is, you have people talk about how there needs to be more representation in Hollywood, but yet when a film like Isle of Dogs has that representation, it gets decried as appropriation.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. It's going to get to the point where people are going to be so scared that they're just not going to have anyone else in their movies.
Yeah.
Please, a YouTube channel I watched called Please Rewind did a great video on how ridiculous the accusations are. I'll link the video in the Discord if I can. Y'all are still the other way, just making sure I can do that without exiting Hangouts.
I think the main issue, too, is that a lot of these people are difficult to please. Because it doesn't matter what kind of representation they get. If it's not exactly how they want it, there's something to complain about. It's like if it's not like my original character who's like this and that, then it's racist, you know?
Yeah. Hang on a minute. Shen, we muted you again just because it was getting a bit too loud. And also there's music in the background and we don't want to get kicked off YouTube.
Oh god. Oh, I was actually going to say, Mel, a little unrelated, but I would like to talk to you about art stuff later because in recent months I have been going more and more to shit because I haven't been practicing and I would like some advice for drawing.
Mel, you didn't mute yourself again, did you?
She did.
I think she did.
She muted herself.
Mel, you gotta stop that.
Mel, please. I've literally never talked to Mel before, and I still can't.
Mel,
you got a fan who wants to talk to you, and you're ignoring her. You're terrible.
You know what? Your art isn't that good anyways. I'm just gonna mention someone else. I'm joking.
Meanwhile, she's sitting blissfully unaware on a toilet seat somewhere.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing so much.
She goes back from the bathroom and people are like, I hate you now. And she's like, what'd I do?
What?
See?
I've been talking to you and you've been mute this whole time.
Well, no, I know that part. I had to get up and check the potatoes. We're making dinner right now.
Come on, guys, potatoes.
Yeah.
Kerplunk. You're muted and Hidden is gushing, just gushing her guts out and saying how much she loves your artwork, and you wouldn't respond.
Oh no!
And she's like, well, fine. I keep on trying to talk to you, Fubu, and you keep ignoring me. I hate your artwork now. And I'm like, well, she's probably sitting on the toilet, blissfully unaware.
No, I had to check the potatoes. We're making sweet potatoes because we're barbecuing tonight.
Anyways, you two talk really quick.
I was actually gonna just say that this should be a conversation for later since I'm now part of the Church of the Fubu. But I have not been able to keep up with art lately just because I now switched to full-time at my job and I'm kind of falling behind and I feel like I can't draw. So I was gonna ask for some tips later and talk to you about art stuff. If that's okay.
Oh, that's cool. That'll be fine.
Oh boy, thank you.
You're welcome. Well, like chill and stuff like that.
Sweet.
I mean, freaking, we can actually get references off of each other because apparently I'm incapable of drawing Matt anymore.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
He looks horrible right now.
I can probably give you a little pointer.
Okay.
If there's one thing I do well, it's criticizing.
Oh yeah, okay, that's
We
good.
can tell by the look on your face.
Oh, I know, right? Everyone like thought that I did this because I have resting bitch face, and I was like, no, it's because I'm fucking angry at everything all the time.
Wait, what are you talking about? This is
my picture, my profile picture.
I know. I was joking. I was saying, well, what do you mean? This is my happy face.
Well, yeah, it's just because I'm done with the Patreon sketch. So.
No, you have to rest your arm.
I know, but I fear, well, since we're doing this, I figured I'd
just
be doing
don't
this.
overdo it, okay? We don't want you like crippling yourself because then we're out of money.
Done. So screw you guys.
I
can relax now.
FYI to Mel's husband, no hand jobs for the time being.
Aww. What about mouth jobs?
Here's mouth and anal.
That's fine.
Perfect.
Hopefully in that order, because fuck the other order.
Oh my gosh.
Seriously, you know when you watch porn and like the woman's they're doing anal and then all of a sudden the woman starts giving him a blowjob. I'm like, oh no.
Is that considered ass to mouth, or is that when you do like rim job?
That's a rim job.
That's how you get fucking threadworm. Jesus Christ.
See, the issue with that is like, I think that's like my greatest fear. I don't mind if someone looks at my body and thinks, man, that's really unattractive. I don't mind if people don't think that I'm well in bed. I just don't want to suck a nigga's dick after he sticks it in my ass, okay?
Oh my gosh. What was oh, Luke and Laura. Well, okay, there you go.
Gosh,
their face today.
I guess I should probably head out since I've kind of overstayed my welcome.
Oh, that's fine.
You didn't. You just barely started talking. You know,
are you sure?
By the time I left.
Mel, you were on mute the entire time, and she's gushing her entire admiration for you, and you didn't even hear any of it.
Mel just wants Hidden to stay. Mel just wants Hidden to stay so she can hear about how great she is.
Yeah. So Hidden, go.
If you would like something, I guess a weird thing that I like about your art is the fact that you add nostrils. Like so many artists I follow do not do nostrils well, and when they do, it looks atrocious. So I don't know if that's any kind of compliment. I think you draw noses very well. It looks nice.
Thank you. I think that I draw them horribly, but thank you so much.
It's good.
We'll talk back at the church.
Yeah. Like I said, this is a conversation for later. I don't want to gush about art when like there's literally nobody else here to gush about it.
Oh, okay.
I could wing it.
We'll also let Shen go, just because it's extremely hard to hear him at the moment.
Quick,
run to the restroom. You might be able to make it.
Well, the thing, like I tried the restroom, but the music is even louder.
Well, just a preface for next time. Usually we try to plan these things in like quiet areas where we have downtime, so that way it's not so horribly loud.
Yeah, it's just I was expecting to still be waiting outside.
Yeah.
By the time, anyway, can I at least bring up one more thing before?
I envy your ability to.
Let me go to the side. But,
He dropped his phone. He's kicking it across the floor.
Fell into the gutter.
What was
there
I wanting to bring up? Well, what do you think of that whole cultural appropriation thing with the accusations of the Wes Anderson film?
I think bollocks. And you know what? People of different cultures don't care when you use their culture in a TV show. They generally actually love it because it's their culture's getting some recognition.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, what I think is like if you point out the Japanese don't care and don't mind it, they'll just point out but Asian or they'll say that Asian Americans might be offended. Like,
Oh yeah,
would you-
Americans. It's the American part that gets offended.
All I can say is that anybody who plays Far Cry 5 outside Montana, that's cultural appropriation. Fuck off. How
Like
dare
that-
you bastard.
Like that video from Please Rewind that I posted on the Generals tab about the Wes Anderson thing. He like did a great breakdown on why the accusations are ridiculous and why the whole cultural appropriation thing has just gone to a point where it's basically like it's like people are confusing exploitation of a culture with cultural diffusion, which is basically the spreading of culture, or...
Yes.
Yeah.
Again, if it's not portrayed in exactly how I want it to be portrayed, then it's racist. That's
exactly.
That's the mindset.
Oh, yeah. What?
Wow.
This, like, the reason I was out with friends is, like, because this weekend I'm at an anime convention in Houston called Anime Matsuri.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about it.
Yeah, it's, like, the second biggest in the state. Like, I kind of want to bring up something real quick, like, not that long ago, there was, like, allegations against the guy who runs the convention of sexual harassment of female workers, some of which were underage, and those allegations were proven to be true. So while we have bought our tickets this year, like they're going this year, but I'm wondering if some of them are gonna skip it next year. Like I've talked a bit about this in the Discord. What are y'all's thoughts?
I think now you said they were proven false, or they have no evidence yet.
They were proven true. Is what I think I meant to say. I meant to say it was proven to be true.
Well, that fucking blows.
The guy hasn't been convicted yet.
That really fucking blows.
Like, honestly, my big hope is that they get rid of the guy.
Well, like yeah, obviously.
Hey, come on. Nike and Apple can make, like, their millions off child exploitation.
You're cutting out a little bit, Luke.
Yeah. Like I'm kind of wondering, like, because the convention itself is fun. Like, it's not like it's not like by going to this convention I'm somehow supporting this guy.
I'd say just put it out of your mind. If anyone brings it up, let them know your feelings. Because, quite frankly, it's not that important. The issue's handled, and it shouldn't affect your entertainment.
Well, the guy has not been punished yet. That's the thing.
But he will be punished. Now that they've been
hopefully
he'll
be.
punished. So
hopefully he'll be. Like at this convention, there's like a lot of fun and weird stuff. Like there's even like a panel where you can buy like Japanese imports.
Wait, Japanese inputs for what?
Imports, like games, CDs, imports.
Gotcha.
Okay. I'm probably gonna have to go now.
All right.
Well, we'll bring in the
it's nice.
in.
Yeah, I'll probably be heading out too. I've overstayed my welcome.
Okay.
Yes, you have.
Yes, I have. All right, I'll see you guys later.
Do you have a credit card?
Catch you later.
All right.
Bye.
Catch you later, Shin.
Enrique, you're gonna be with Brandon.
Gosh dang it, my mic was on mute again.
You need to fix that shit, Mel.
I do. What the hell?
Well, you just need to keep an eye on your icon here on the Hangout chat. And anytime that little mic pops up, you need to unmute it.
Well, the thing is that my background picture is white and the mic icon is white, so you're asking me to look like a polar bear in a snowstorm.
Here's a novel idea, Mel. Invert it. Inverted mind. LOL.
I should bitch slap you for that. Oh, by the way, Matt, I sent over the sketch in Skype.
Well, I don't have Skype open, so.
Well, we're gonna open up Skype real quick, Matt.
Fine. Bring up my phone. Is this for the roundtable revision or the redo?
Well, it's definitely gonna look better because you do not look right.
Well, then it's close to reality then.
Oh gosh, dang it! You know what I mean. I'm not pleased with the style. Me and Natalie, we turned out just fine. You, on the other hand, not so much.
Why does this say? I like tiny dick pic.
What?
Nat wrote.
You
I
have
like
tiny dick pic.
So it definitely wasn't from me.
I don't know.
As far as the sketch mail, I like how they look, but we're gonna need to kind of space them out in case we have a fourth person in whenever. But you're on the right track though.
Yay! Well, like I said, it's just a sketch.
Although I kind of like being on the corner, a little corner on the side where I was before.
Well, who's gonna be in the middle then?
Putting at where Cinemax is at. But I generally I like it though.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm telling you to redo it, but I like it.
All right.
Yeah, I like it, but shit.
Here, I'm gonna share it up on Patreon for all of you guys.
Okay.
Since we need some artwork for the $5 tier here, so
yeah.
But yes, we are bringing back the roundtable format just because, again, like you guys chimed in, it's overwhelmingly better for us and for you guys. More interesting, so should be fun. I'll have a bitch on both sides. Woohoo!
Yeah.
Now you should have another podcast called Pillow Talk, and you guys could be on both arms.
Just laying on top of each other.
Anyways, Luke, Jacob, what do you guys got?
All right, let me weave you it down. The most likable feminist I've ever seen, who wears sexy cosplay while she explains both sides of complex feminist problems with gaming industries.
Yeah.
You're talking about Nat?
No, I'm talking about a series called Lady Bits.
Lady
someone
Bits.
recommended to me on
the
Discord.
name.
It was a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah.
I gotta say, and she kept like switching up her cosplay during the video, which helped hold my attention because boobs.
Yeah.
So wait, is she pro or anti-Gamergate type stuff?
She kind of tried to explain both sides to not alienate the crazies. You know, the super far left, while exposing them to a more moderate side.
Yeah.
I think that just by the fact that she's attractive, I think that's enough to trigger them.
Yeah, but she's also a little overweight. So it might balance out.
Ah. Very well then.
Another crazy thing is that she's middle-aged and she's Jewish.
Ah, there you go.
Well, why does that matter so much to you, Jacob?
Yeah.
I just thought I'd throw that out there.
Go
diversify the environment a little.
Go play with your pug.
Gosh dang.
I'm not actually. He might have a little bit of punk in him, actually. We don't know. Yeah, talking about my dog. Yeah, I'll throw some more I got some more pictures of them.
Mega Monster says that apparently she got blackballed by Anita.
Yeah.
Blackmailed.
Blackballed.
Yes.
You mean
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
blackmailed?
Oh.
Yeah.
So
She posted a
blackballed?
video
What the
about
hell does
it.
that
It's like-
mean?
Very mature, that they just had very differing opinions on feminism.
Yep.
Like she just kind of left it at that.
Jesus Christ! Hang on a minute. Sorry to go off topic a little bit, but I just found a picture of a cross between a pug and a German Shepherd. I'm gonna put it in the. I'll put it in the Discord. It's fucking adorable. Look at that little guy.
I need to get Joey exercising more because he's like 8 pounds away. But it's been okay, I guess, because it's been really cold this winter. It's been really cold every winter. No. We can talk about. I was going to talk about Ready Player One because I just got back from it.
Oh yeah. How was it?
Can you do it spoiler free?
It wasn't as reference heavy as I thought it was going to be. Granted, there are some references. There's pop culture references. It's actually pretty obscure pop culture. It's from there's some 90s and early odd stuff, but it's mostly 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
Do you know what it looks like? It looks like somebody took the Imagination Land episode of South Park and tried to make a serious movie out of it.
Yeah.
Or it was a book.
Or Wreck-It Ralph.
It's an okay book, but it's Spielberg directed it, so it's a decent movie.
So it's set in a virtual world, right?
For the most, it's split 2/3. About a third of the movie takes place in the real world because a lot of money is attached to this contest, and about 2/3 of it takes place in VR land.
Okay.
I am actually amazed.
Knuckles in VR land.
No, Uganda Knuckles.
Showed the way.
Uganda Knuckles came out a little too late to make an appearance.
Oh.
But it's got fucking Battleborn characters as avatars, man. I was just like, oh my god, someone remembered Battleborn.
Wow.
Sorry.
No, dude, it's like the fucking sleepaway camp bit in what the fuck is Robot Chicken.
Oh.
Where nobody got Battleborn, dude. It had the sad unfortunates of coming out right alongside Overwatch, and then Overwatch was amazing, and Battleborn was just like, oh, it's there. This is a thing.
Yeah. Voila.
I'm like, Dead on Arrival doesn't even touch it. It was dead at conception.
Is this like more references?
Through the egg, and then both of them died.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, I liked it. I don't know if that's any really merit to go by, because I don't know. I go to movies to be entertained. I'll go to if I go to a movie more than once, it's because I want to analyze it. It's a very simple story. Underdog kid takes on an impossible task and succeeds. It's very shit, Nat. Who am I thinking of? Very Campbell. Very monomyth.
I see.
Well, that's good to hear. There hasn't been a lot of great movies in the cinema lately.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I haven't been to movies.
I recently saw Black Panther.
None of you are free from sin. I would just like to say that.
I went to see Black Panther in 4D.
Is this thing even working?
It was pretty.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, it's working. It's just not funny.
Yeah, I do my best. I mostly fail.
Yeah, I went to see Black Panther.
What the fuck am I looking at right now?
Sorry, Natalie.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Natalie. Talk.
Okay, I went to see Black Panther in 4D, and it was pretty decent. And usually, as soon as I heard that I was going in 4D, I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. But it was actually pretty decent. It was a bit jarring at first, but then it gradually got better. The movie was pretty great. The movie was pretty great though. I was expecting it to be not terrible, but kind of average because of all the stuff I've heard about it. But it was actually a really good movie.
Well, that's good.
I think the best thing about it though was because it's a breath of fresh air because of the setting. Usually superhero movies are set in a city or some sort of metropolitan type area.
Yeah.
Just having it set in an area like Wakanda, where it's in Africa and it's jungle and it's all tribal and stuff. It was it was nice to have that kind of new setting and new environment.
Oh, definitely.
And where they have a patriarchal king that clearly doesn't understand how money works and
make Wakanda great again. Build a wall. They did it in the comics. Do it in the movie.
I'm pretty
the implication that I walked away from in the movie is that there used to be a wall, but then after was it in Age of Ultron that the asteroid blew up?
Yeah, but that was in a different country entirely in that movie, I think.
Yeah, but the fuck. How did the plot come?
I don't know. I gotta get going though, guys. Dinner's ready.
Okay.
That's fine. You're muted half the stream anyway, so.
So I'm not showing up.
I feel bad.
Fubu, next time I want to be alone, I'll call you.
Oh, okay.
You can be alone.
Oh man. True enough, but ow.
Oh,
Yeah, I try.
I said my wrist is hurting bad enough. Now you just gotta drive the nail in my head.
Fubu, rest the wrist. The new picture looks great. It's up on Patreon, folks. Go check it out.
If your wrist hurts that much, just ask your husband to put his pants back on.
I mean, like I said, I got my left.
So if your hand hurts, is this like tongue numb?
Oh my word.
There's a reason she has to keep muting herself, and it's not because she's forgetting.
It's because every time she closes her legs, his glasses break.
Oh no.
I mean, that's one way to teach your kids sex ed, I guess. I didn't realize the Mormons started that young.
Holy shit, what the fuck? You didn't have to take it that far, Luke. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so that one just flew right over my head.
Yeah.
Better leave now, Mel. Your innocence might still be intact.
No,
See you guys later.
Yep.
We've seen your Tumblr. It's not.
Why is my thing showing up as XSplit? I'm not even fucking running it at the moment.
Not a clue.
Because piracy.
I have a legitimate free version though.
Uh-huh.
Like I got the free one. Fuck it. I'll figure it out later.
You know what else about Black Panther though was funny was it's just the fact that obviously the film is going to be a little bit social justice warrior-y. There we go.
Sure.
Obviously it's going to be a bit like that. I mean the film's called Black Panther for Christ's sake. Right?
The name of the hero.
Yeah.
Panthers are in Africa. I'm Baba Yaba.
Oh god.
And it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, like the social justice warrior stuff. I personally thought it was worse in fucking Spider-Man. But the one thing that was a bit weird was when Michael B. Jordan was in the British Museum, and he wanted to buy the artifacts, and the woman was like, "They're not for sale." And he went, "How do you think that you guys got these? Do you think you stole them from us?" And it's like, right. Believe it or not, hundreds of years ago, the Africans did understand what the fuck trade was. Most of these were bought and paid for.
Well, even the Vikings figured out that they could get more if they traded with the Europeans.
Yeah, it's not like
they had to sober the fuck up for it.
It's not like every single fucking African was like just in the bush, like just throwing spears at each other. They actually had civilizations and
they were in the movie.
They understood what a currency was, and they understood trade, and they traded with other countries.
It's like I was telling
they basically invented that shit with the Egyptians.
Yeah, like it's trying so hard to like not be racist that it ends up being racist because it's like they were obviously stolen because fucking the Africans didn't know how to sell things.
It's like I took I was in general chat talking about my thoughts coming out of the theater. Just like at some point, someone had to realize that, especially with the Zulu, the more warlike tribes were going to the more peaceful tribes, killing off all of their warriors and enslaving all of everyone that was left, and then selling them to the white folks so they could get tea and guns and occasionally beer. But it was mostly tea and guns.
I don't know. That was the only thing that really bugged me. But at the same time, I was thinking about it, and actually, that kind of suits the character, because I think the whole point of the character, Michael B. Jordan's character, was that he was jaded and he did see the world, everyone in the world, as his enemy. So him being an SJW was just the character, and it wasn't necessarily part of the whole message of the movie, because the whole point is that he is aggressive because he was brought up that way, and he hates everyone. So, yeah. So I think he's kind of like a parody of like the Black Hitler types. The guy I'm talking about, Black Hitler.
Yeah. Our Lord and Savior, praise be.
He's like a parody of that kind of character. It's not necessarily like those things aren't supposed to be good things about him in the movie.
Well, where he learned it, right? In his backstory, they mentioned that he went to like an Ivy League school.
Yeah, exactly. That's where he was indoctrinated. Exactly. Do you know what else as well? Is that like that he was at the end where he's like, I can put you in prison if you want. You don't have to die. And he's like, oh, my ancestors knew that it was better to throw themselves from the slave ships and die. And I'm like,
that's my biggest gripe about the movie.
I'm like, Wakanda was never colonized. You fucking idiot! Your ancestors weren't slaves.
So it's relevant as well.
The one thing I like about Black Panther is that, yes, it's the first Black Marvel superhero movie made by Marvel Studios. So naturally, it got a hip-hop soundtrack, because that's not playing into stereotypes at all.
Well, people, that annoyed me, is people were going, that's the first Black Marvel superhero. And I'm like, did none of you motherfuckers watch Blade?
Now I'm doing a mill. I had my microphone. I'm screaming Blade at the top of my lungs.
In with everyone's suppression of Steel. Does everybody remember Steel?
I do. It was the one with Shaq, right?
No one should remember Steel. Steel should be forgotten and buried.
Shazam!
You know, not only that, there's tons of black superheroes, like in modern Marvel films, like Falcon.
Luke Cage, if you want to count the TV show.
Storm?
Yeah, Luke Cage is okay. Storm is great.
I'm just using him as an example. I haven't seen the show.
But motherfucking Blade was where it was at.
The new Fantastic Four, although I guess like that doesn't exist anymore because otherwise Michael B. Jordan would be both characters, and that would be like.
Yeah, that's
nobody talks about.
That's fucking weird.
Guys, I've been saying it for years. The Fantastic Four do not work as main characters because they are
a group.
They're the first family of superheroes. It's that they're a family first.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what I've been saying as well. It's because the reason why, I mean, people say that the best Fantastic people say that the best Fantastic Four movie is The Incredibles, and the reason that is because the whole film is about them as a family. I mean, they all each individually have their own little things going on, but at the end of the day, the whole film is about them as a family working together. And that's something that the other Fantastic Four movies don't really have enough of.
Like, the reason why Fantastic Four got as popular as it did is because Stan Lee, he self-published it because he was tired of the grind in the under the Hays Code of all the comics that he was forced to make. So he as a joke, he started Fantastic Four. He set it in the real world, and he started using like licensed properties, like was it a Corvette? Johnny Storm comes home from doing Johnny Storm one day, and he's driving in a Corvette, and they call it a Corvette. And at the time, that was pretty groundbreaking shit because before that, it was always like copyright safe versions of things. So I think the example Stan Lee used was Whiplash V8. I called it the Corvette. Of course, it was the 60s, so everything was the same.
You know what I hated about Black Panther? There's one thing I hated, and it was watching Martin Freeman do an American accent. It just felt wrong.
Oh yeah, speaking of him in that movie, I heard a joke. It was him and the guy who played fucking Gollum. I forget his name off the top of my head.
Andy Serkis.
Yeah. They were both in Lord of the Rings, right? Yeah, they were both in the Lord of the Rings movies.
Yes and no.
What?
Yes and no. Well, Martin Freeman got grandfathered into it, but he and Andy. No, wait, Gollum showed up in The Hobbit. I forgot.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. So wouldn't that make them the Tolkien white guys?
Yeah.
And I'm out. See y'all later. I got to go to work.
All right, dude. Have a good one.
Can I just say, when the fuck is Andy Serkis going to get an Oscar? People talking about Leonardo DiCaprio. Leonardo DiCaprio is nothing compared to Andy Serkis. Andy Serkis does most of his amazing performances in a green fucking suit with no environment to interact with. And he outacts Leonardo DiCaprio any day of the fucking week.
Well, the same could be said for Brian Blessed.
I don't know, man. Brian Blessed's... I got Brian Blessed's autograph. I met him at Comic-Con. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah, he's great. Do you know he's an avid like mountain climber?
Yep. He looks like a fucking lumberjack, man. Brian Blessed's a British author. British. Well, there is a Brian Blessed author, but that's neither here nor there. Brian Blessed is a British actor who got his start in theater. And if you go and watch the Flash Gordon movie from the 80s, you can tell. Because the guy does not have an indoor voice.
Oh God, you know what? In Black Panther, what was hilarious? I love how the fucking is it Denzel Washington? No, it's Forrest Whitaker in it. Sorry, I get those two confused sometimes. But
big difference.
No, yeah,
Nat,
I love.
Not all black people look the same.
Shush. I love how they went to the trouble of when they were casting him as a young man. They went to the trouble of hiring an actor who also had a weird eye.
Lazy eye.
I thought that was hilarious. And then the actor playing T'Challa's dad also had a weird eye, so it must just run in their family.
Oh God, Wakandan inbreeding.
Probably. I mean, if they're walled off.
I was gonna say, if you wall yourself out, I mean.
He has the same thing that Ryan Gosling has. His left eye is lower on his face than his right, and really it infuriates me, and I feel so bad about it because I can't fucking do it. But like my OCD is like, move it up, fuck.
But no, I did like.
Well then, Jacob, don't ever watch a Tommy Wiseau movie.
Oh,
dude, I've seen The Room. It is.
Have you seen the Disaster Artist?
No, I want to.
Oh, it's great.
It's really good.
Family is all coming over tomorrow for Easter dinner, so I might stop by. I don't know, like Redbox or something, and pick it up.
I think it's still in theaters, isn't it?
It is.
And yeah, The Room is back in theaters, like all over America now.
It was never out.
Hey, Bunny Cat! Here to stay quiet in a corner for 45 minutes. He's doing it right now.
Damn, she must be one of Mel's friends.
So she doesn't mute herself on accident. She's just quiet.
Okay.
The perfect woman.
I'll behave.
Let's see. What about out here? Yeah, that was all that I really came to talk about. Ready Player One was good. I mean, I enjoyed it. You guys are more analytical than I am, so.
No, we're not.
First impression analytical than I am.
More like, anal, maybe.
Yeah, I've got to see a movie at least 12 times before I start picking it apart.
Huh. Oh well. Adios, amigos.
Yeah.
Me and my brother were joking at the Black Panther movie because at the end, like they're both the Black Panther and they're fighting each other. Me and my brother said we're talking to each other, and I said, you know, in Tekken when you both pick the same character, so they have to slightly change their outfit. That's what it was like at the end of Black Panther.
Slight color change.
Yeah. No, but the CGI in Black Panther was a bit weird. Like some of the fight scenes.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, okay.
You can.
Which is weird because. It's weird because Marvel has more money than God, so it's like, why would you skimp out on the action scenes?
I feel
racism.
Like most of the CG budget, I feel like, went towards the Wakanda, the city, because I think they wanted to nail that, whereas especially the fights within the suits were kind of glossed over rather than given actual committed time to animate. It still looks it's something that you pick up on if you've seen it like 3 times like I did. But I don't know, it's not quite as bad as Scooby-Doo, but yeah.
Not quite as
What
bad.
What actually happened to Michael B. Jordan's character? Killmonger. What happened to his mum? Did they ever say? Because I was wondering that. Because like they said that they just left the kid there, implying that he was there like literally on his own. and you never see the mother, and
Well,
they
it's
never
all
mention
in the
her.
90s, so she probably got killed.
Do they?
She,
Let me
she
look
wore
it
the
up.
wrong
Actually.
colors on the wrong day, the right place. Hashtag Blood Lives Matter.
Here we go. What happened to Killmonger's mum? I do have to agree that a lot of people were saying that like Killmonger's the best villain in the Marvel Cinematic Universe so far. I have to agree, but that's mainly because the other villains are so fucking boring. Even Loki, I don't understand what the big deal about him is. I find him boring.
That's the answer. Yeah.
He's pretty and he's a Wobie.
They're really hyping up Thanos though, so.
Well, Thanos is being played by Josh Brolin, so he's either going to be really good or he's going to be a fun time.
Yeah, aren't they all? I'm not a comic guy though, but isn't Thanos? Doesn't he like worship death? And in this movie, they're going to make it so
he has a raging
boner
for death. The actual incarnation of death herself.
Yeah,
he wants to fuck the rogue skeleton, and in the comics, that is the reason why he's going around the multiverse destroying everything, is because he wants to fuck Death. But Death wants to fuck Deadpool.
Yeah, he gets cucked by Deadpool.
I remember that. I actually do remember that. I obtained several Deadpool comics and read several of them, so that was one of them. But in the movie, aren't they going to make it so like Thanos is just doing this like for altruistic reasons? Like, I'm going to just destroy half the world because we need to prevent overpopulation.
Actually, fun fact: the guy who plays Thanos, Josh Brolin, is also in the Deadpool movie as Cable. Yeah,
wow,
so it's kind of weird.
What do you guys think about the Deadpool trailer? I mean, I've heard a lot of things. The new
like
Deadpool movie.
Trailer. I have purposely put myself on like a blackout for all movie trailers except the first one or two that get launched. I do not follow any kind of movie hype or TV spot or anything because I don't want to spoil everything, because that's the flavor of fucking advertisements this day and age. Like fucking Terminator Genesis was a okay movie, but they fucking spoiled the twist in the second goddamn trailer.
Same thing with Terminator 2. Yep. The original Terminator 2, the fact that Arnold Schwarzenegger is the hero and Robert Patrick was the bad guy was supposed to be a twist, and the fucking trailers ruined it.
To be fair, the Deadpool trailers are very different compared to the average movie trailer.
Yeah.
But I've heard a lot of things like Deadpool's going through its reshoots. The first Deadpool screening didn't go very well. I've heard a lot of rumors about like the plot of what's supposed to be. I won't go into it though, but
yeah, I heard the same thing. I've heard this and that about it. I've heard that the plot was really good. It's just that some of the scenes didn't work. I've heard that the plot was really bad and they needed to do the whole thing over.
Well, I know that T.J. Miller and
go ahead.
So I just know that T.J. Miller and Ryan Reynolds had a big disagreement about that, and that's why T.J. Miller didn't come back. Or not T.J. Miller, whoever the director was.
Tim Miller.
Tim Miller, I think.
The director?
Yeah, he didn't come back because he didn't want it. They disagreed on whether or not it was to be like more action or more comedy.
When the last recording Max and I ever made was a podcast or an after hours, it never happened, and it was basically like T.J. Miller. God damn it, Miller was just trying to like do his thing, but then the studio gave so much like I guess power to Ryan Reynolds that Ryan Reynolds really wanted to make it like more comedy and stuff, and it just created like this massive divide versus being like a 50-50 split on who could do what. The studio basically kind of gave Ryan Reynolds a lot of power with the script and whatnot. So that's
granted, like most of Deadpool's appeal is the fact that he's the merc with the mouth.
Right.
He makes fun of himself in his own comic because he went insane and realizes he's in a comic.
Basically, he went hyper sane.
Yeah.
He went so insane, he's actually sane.
Scene in the movie.
Do you know can I just quickly interject because it's bugging me? You know what else I was wondering when I was watching Black Panther is, you know that scene, spoilers, where the herb that they have to eat or whatever to become the Black Panther.
Yep.
And then Michael B. Jordan goes in and just burns them all.
Yep.
I was thinking throughout that whole thing, right, what happens now if you have a fucking son? And what happens when you die? No one's going to be able to take over the fucking Black Panther. No, you're what? You're not thinking ahead here.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah, that's something that I asked on the drive that I realized on the drive home. I was kind of on the interstate at the time, and I almost veered into oncoming traffic. Right. I think I've taken up more than my allotted time, so I'm going to bounce, and then TMF can talk about whatever he wants to talk about, and Buddy Cat can just participate.
Well, that's what I was basically thinking is since Lydia's not really saying much, that you're not really in any hurry. The next people up are NG and Big Chief, so we still got a bit of time with you guys yet. So
I'm gonna jump on the Discord general chat. It sounds like
the Discord general chat's more interesting than ours.
Taylor's always talking about
Matt, look what you did. Look at this thing that you've created.
Oh, the Discord app, or is something inside Discord that I should be looking at?
Yeah, no, it was a bad joke. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay,
right.
That's why I didn't get it. And usually I'm the king of bad jokes, so I should have got it.
Usually.
All right, dude. We'll catch you later. And keep an ear out because we might be using you for an after hours.
Sweet.
Using you. All right. Catch you later, dude.
Happy Easter, everybody.
And you.
I'm offended because I'm kind of atheistic. How dare you tell me to be happy? Bastard. I should sue him.
The difference between like atheism and agnostic, I get confused all the time. I don't even bother anymore.
Agnostic is like
atheism is when you completely deny that there is, a higher power, whereas agnostic is like, you think there might be, you're open to it, but you don't know for sure.
Yeah. It just gets confusing because I know like Penn Jillette talks about like, well, it's about being actively believing, you cannot passively believe something. And it gets really confused when you talk about etymology and word definitions and all that.
Semantics.
I just say non-religious, whatever.
Yeah, that's basically it. I mean, atheism's like very, very certain there's no God, like 100% certain. And then agnostic's like, there might be, but you know what? We'll never know.
Maybe.
So
maybe
why bother? Why do you think of it? Like Neil deGrasse Tyson. That's his thing. It's like, until there's proof, I just don't think about it.
Yeah.
So anyways, we talked about guns and God. Welcome to America.
Hey. I was thinking of like bringing up something like about Toys R Us shutting down because they announced that they were liquidating, and by the end of April they're done. In fact, I think today the website shut down. And to just put salt in the wound, a week after they announced that they were liquidating, the founder died. Yeah, but it's interesting because it's one of those things where it's like, well, it's nostalgic because I used to go to Toys R Us when I was a little kid, but things are changing, and I haven't heard about it in a long time. But it sort of comes into the trend of a lot of TV shows, like I know in Cartoon Network, like Symbionic Titan or Young Justice, that were really popular TV shows, were getting canceled despite good ratings simply because of toy sales. And I was thinking maybe because they were hitting an older demographic, so maybe the older guys didn't want to buy toys. But then Toys R Us just said on like MSN that it's probably because millennials aren't having as many kids. The birth rate's been declining since 2008. And they're marrying later, so maybe that's it.
I think it's because of like this new generation. Less kids actually play with toys. They have smartphones, computers, tablets, whatever. So it's sad really because even when I was growing up, I don't think I ever set foot in a Toys R Us. Mainly because their stores were always like located out in the middle of fucking nowhere, rather than in the middle of the shopping centers where they should have been.
Well, the
but
thing is
I did have a lot of toys, but and then like as I got, sorry.
Originally, a lot of these cartoons were actually fucking toy advertisements. Back, especially like in the late 80s, early 90s. Cartoons were developed just to sell toys, like G.I. Joe,
like
He-Man, Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, and with a lot of these companies are obviously producing and funding these shows because based on toy deals. And even if the show does well, if the toys aren't selling, then the show gets canceled. So I was wondering, like, okay, well, where do these how do these shows get their funding now? Because I know Young Justice just came back for like one season, or is supposed to come back on like Netflix or something. It seems like Netflix is going to fund a lot of everything these days, but it just kind of sucked when you're watching a show and everyone's watching it. You're buying the DVDs. You're making the ratings decent, but at the end of the day, because you're not buying the toys, because I don't buy toys even with shows that I like, they get canceled.
Yeah, it's the most annoying thing. And the thing is, as well, I think it's because a lot of these shows that produce kids shows, Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, they're all getting lazy. They've got each of them have their one particular property that they just pump out, and it's the only thing that they pay attention to, like SpongeBob or Teen Titans Go. The stupidest fucking cut. I mean, I loved SpongeBob when I was a kid, but now it's just, ugh. But it's a huge money maker, so it's all they really focus on. They don't focus on their smaller shows. They don't bother trying to promote them as much. Again, they're getting lazy. I think that's part of it.
And we also can't forget, the online retail stores, are out competing Toys R Us, which I feel like it's the Costco of toys. But I just wondering, like, where are they going to get their funding these days? Because I know Kickstarter was supposed to be like a proposal, but people don't want to depend on stuff like that because Kickstarters can go terribly wrong, and you don't want a $1 million show to depend on something like that.
I think the thing is, as well, is animated shows compared to a live action show, they're way more expensive. A live action show, that's why Cartoon Network in particular, I think it was, and actually Nickelodeon as well, they started doing more stupid fucking live action shows that were just fucking terrible, but they were cheap to make compared to animation.
Disney Channel and stuff did the same thing ages ago.
Yeah, but with Cartoon Network, it's kind of hard because your cartoon's in your name. They call it Cartoon Network Real or something. I remember that. I didn't like those shows very much. And I was just sort of like, guys, your name, your Cartoon Network, you got to be showing at least some cartoons and not just rerun, now they just rerunning Teen Titans Go over and over again. So it feels like a dead channel. And the only thing left is Toonami, like every Saturday or something.
I think the thing is, as well, is that because Disney is buying everything under the frickin' sun, they produce like most of the big name toy brand stuff. They have all the superhero stuff. They got all the Star Wars stuff, plus the Disney characters and stuff. And they have Disney stores that they sell them in. Plus they can send them anywhere to get sold. Walmart, Costco. They don't have to just go to Toys R Us. And because of that, people don't have to go to Toys R Us to get the new Spider-Man toy or the new Luke Skywalker toy or whatever.
Holy shit! Is Toys R Us? I mean, is Disney going to take over the world? I mean, is that it?
I think that's it. Soon they're going to be having Simpsons toys everywhere.
At least now there'll be no complaints about the boy or girl aisle.
Oh God. There is only one gender: the mouse. God, is it weird that the older you get, the more you see Disney as a fucking evil monolithic entity that kind of needs to be stopped at all costs?
You know what's really funny is that there was an MMORPG called Toontown. I played it a long time ago, where you play as cartoon characters who are defending Toontown from being corporatized by the cogs. And it was the most hilarious thing. And you have to attack these businessmen with like pie or water squirters. Because I think you play like a dog or a mouse, like based on Mickey Mouse or Goofy, and it's just, I felt like that was a cry for help there. This is like 10 years ago.
What? I just came up with a solution. Warner Brothers should start buying their own shit. right? Have Disney characters like Mickey Mouse, Goofy, and all that versus the Looney Tunes characters. Warner Brothers should start buying stuff and competing with Disney. Warner Brothers should buy fucking DC. They already have DC. Like they should start buying all kinds of other stuff, battling it out, and then seeing who could own the most at the end of it.
I wonder Walt Disney, if he like saw what he created, like I wonder what he would feel about it.
I get the feeling that he'd be kind of disgusted by it, to be honest. I mean, Walt Disney seems like he genuinely cared about the films he made and the things that he made, and then as soon as he died, things kind of just went downhill. Obviously, you have obviously you have the Disney Renaissance, which is like the exception. But other than that, it's all just become about money, and I don't think Walt Disney was ever really about that.
Yeah, I mean, especially with people who sort of start the whole thing, the founders. There's a lot more passion, I think, with those people. They don't inherit the empire. So I think, yeah, and also Walt Disney was from a different time, who probably saw things very differently than a lot of the stuff that we see today, especially with the politicization of like literally everything.
Well, yeah, I mean, he grew up in a poor family. He is literally a rags to riches story. And the more you hear about Walt Disney, like the more you kind of admire the guy. Like, you ever seen the film? Obviously, this was made by Disney, so it's gonna make him appear in a good light. But have you ever seen the film Saving Mr. Banks?
I feel like I know of it. Maybe I have.
It's a film about Walt Disney. He's played by Tom Hanks in it, which again, like if you're played by Tom Hanks, you're automatically going to be seen as amazing because Tom Hanks is just amazing. But anyway, Tom Hanks plays Walt Disney, and it's about him trying to get the rights from the writer of Mary Poppins to make Mary Poppins.
Okay.
And it sounds boring, but it's a really good film, and it portrays him so well in it. He just seems so happy, and he really cares about all the stuff that he's making, and even so that he seems so sweet as well. Even to the point where like she walks in, there's a scene where she walks in on him because she's angry, and he's smoking, and he quickly puts out the cigarette and goes, "Yeah, I try not to be seen smoking because I don't want to influence kids to start smoking." And it's like, okay.
Yeah, and Harlan Ellison says that that's the biggest bullshit pile of propaganda, because he says that I believe he said he actually knew the writer of Mary Poppins, and he says that the entire image that they were purveying of Walt Disney was absolute bullshit. It was just there to be a candy coated.
Yeah, I know in real life, like she hated the film, but in the film, she was like, "Oh my god, I love it."
The depiction of Walt Disney was bullshit. Especially like he has this story of him being like being poor and downtrodden, beaten, and all that.
Well,
kind of stuff.
It did genuinely come from a poor family, but I just don't think it was as bad as was portrayed in the film.
I don't think it was good either.
I think you have to be kind of cutthroat or like pretty like a pretty stern person, have a pretty like stern personality. Maybe some might even call asshole-ish to kind of build an empire on your own, though.
Yeah, well, don't forget he got kind of fucked over because he created a character before Mickey Mouse, and someone basically just fucking stole it, and he wasn't allowed to make any money from it. So Mickey Mouse was like a backup plan almost.
Yeah, well, all things that ends well, I guess. Although, the only thing I hear about Walt Disney these days is that, he's anti-Semitic. I'm like, I feel like that's, at least the attitude that he had was normal for his time, at least.
Yeah, I think people overblow it. It's like, they try, because people think of Walt Disney as this, like, obviously this guy who cares about children, he's a saint, all that. As soon as you hear anything bad about him, it's going to be overblown, because it's going to be like, actually, did you know?
Well, number one, there's a little bit of Schadenfreude in destroying these godlike figures, that hero worship. It's fun to shatter that. But to call out like Walt Disney, H.P. Lovecraft, a lot of these people who are genuinely anti-Semitic with modern day values is just anachronistic. It's like saying, it's like watching an old 80s slasher flick and being like, how come they don't just call for help on their cell phones? You just can't really do it. I mean, you can look at it, you can revile it, or you can hate it and be like, this is absolutely disgusting, but you can't judge what happened during that time period necessarily just because I don't know.
Even the most progressive person now might be called a bigot by someone 30 years or 40 years from now.
Exactly. Yes, you summed up exactly what I was trying to say.
Well, you know what else as well about Walt Disney is, you guys ever seen the film Song of the South?
No, that's
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's a film released in I think the 40s or maybe the 50s, and it was like one of the first ever like live action / cartoon films, like with cartoons in the live action, and it's basically about this white kid with white dad, all that, goes to stay with his grandmother, I think, who lives in the South in this massive house, and obviously the woman who lives in the house, she's very rich. She has black servants, and in the areas surrounding it, there are black people living there, and they're all kind of poor and all that. And people are saying that film is racist because it's portraying slavery, and all these slaves are happy, and it's rich white people. And for starters, they're not actually slaves because it's set like after 1776, so they're all free people. It's just that they're poor. But actually, what happens in
American history, 1776 wasn't the Civil War. That was our war with you.
Which we won, by the way.
Fuck off. I'm trying. I got my dates mixed up. Whatever. I don't care. I'm not American. But anyway, it's supposed to be set after slavery ended. After slavery ended. But anyway, so in the film, the boy is like completely ignored by his parents, pretty much, and his grandmother. He's all on his own. And he goes out one day and he sees, a bunch of black people sitting down and they're singing about this guy called Uncle Remus, right? And he's like, what? He gets curious. And then he meets Uncle Remus. And he's this old, jolly black guy. And he befriends him. And he starts telling him, the black guy starts telling him stories about this like rabbit called Brer Rabbit. And, it's like it's like he's his only friend. And people are saying that film is racist, and they don't even sell it on DVD anymore. You can't get a copy of Song of the South because it's so like controversial. And I'm like, you're completely missing the message, especially in the fucking 40s. The film is supposed to be about how, this white kid has been completely ignored by his white family. And he's making friends with this guy who's from a completely different background, different age, different color.
Whites and blacks actually playing together.
Yeah, and they're talking to each other, they're hanging out with each other, and he's his only friend. Uncle Remus is the hero of the story, and you're acting as if he's like the victim.
It sort of reminds me when Duke was on and he was talking about The Color Purple, and I mentioned in chat that my gender studies professor thought The Color Purple was racist because it portrayed a black guy as a villain. I'm like, well, okay. By the way,
it's disgusting. It's like you're completely missing the point. And there's a sweet scene in it as well, right? Where at the end of it, something happens and the kid gets knocked unconscious, right, by like a bull. It's stuff happens, and he gets knocked unconscious, and he's in the bed, and people surrounding him. Oh, is he going to be all right? And then he starts like stirring and waking up, and then the mother goes towards him. It's like, oh, you're right, baby. And like the first thing he says is like he's still kind of like out of it, and he goes, Uncle Remus. And that's like the first person he thinks of. The first person he calls out to help for is Uncle Remus. Just this random poor guy.
No, it's because he's the one who's earned the kid's love.
Yeah, that's essentially it. That's essentially it. And people are saying, oh god, it's disgusting, it's racism. I'm like, you're completely missing the fucking, especially in the fucking 40s. The fucking 40s. Do you not see how having a black friendship, a black guy being friends with a white person and then being portrayed in this light in the fucking 40s is borderline revolutionary?
I guess they just don't want to compliment something from that time, or they just want to, they obviously want an excuse to moral grandstand and all that.
Well, it's also out of sight and out of mind. I mean, I can understand some aspects of it being kind of like a candy coated version of slavery, where it's we're going to go out and have fun out in the fields, and it's like, ugh. But there are other themes in the movie besides kind of just what's on face value.
Yeah, and not only that, but the guy who played Uncle Remus in it, he won a fucking Oscar for that film.
It doesn't matter because it was given by the white man.
Oh god.
Or in the case of like I think it was Gone with the Wind, and the lady who played, I actually think her name was Mammy in the movie. She actually had to use like the back door to even go to like the Oscar party, I believe. That woman. Are you talking about the woman who's like kind of fat and she's kind of like sassy? And her.
Yeah, she's in Song of the South as like I think she's like a cook or something for the rich woman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's in Song of the South.
She's also the best part of. She's also the best part of Gone with the Wind.
I know. She's the only fucking character in that film I can stand.
It's the old theory that if you're the jester, you can say the truths that no one else can say in front of the king.
Yeah,
it's the poet fool.
God, I fucking hate Gone with the Wind. It's like 12 hours long, and you don't care about anyone in it. I can't stand the main character. I can't stand the love interest.
But that's because the main character is histrionic.
And then the one person you have sympathy for, the little kid, she gets killed at the end. It's like, what the fuck, man?
Well, that escalated quickly.
Hi, Angie.
What's up?
You got any Canadian feminist stories to share with us?
Just the stuff with Headley going on over here.
Oh, my. And TMF and Lydia, you guys can stick around since Lydia's not really saying much. So, and neither is Big Chief.
Hello.
So,
hi.
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 Nah. Just lately, the band Headley has been basically thrown under the bus because some girl came up saying that she was sexually assaulted, and from what I read, she went there knowing that she was going there to fuck the singer. And from what I can understand, just because it didn't turn out the way that it was playing in her head, she came out and said, "Oh, he sexually assaulted me."
Oh, is this the classic case of? Is this the classic case of? I willingly slept with this guy because I knew it would progress my career, and now that I'm at the top of my career, I'm going to turn around and say that he did it without my consent. Because I don't want to seem like I don't want to seem like a whore. So I'm going to change the
I think it was just some random girl.
God, Senpai noticed me, and we're gonna have a romantic relationship, and he's gonna get married, and we're gonna have 3 kids, and blah.
Yeah, she basically expected you to know the whole Spanish guy with the fucking rose in the mouth and mi amore, and just to have like a 10 out of 10, just smashed her fucking puss so hard that she felt in the back of the spinal column. Jesus. And she was expecting that and got like a 2 in the sack.
No.
2 inches.
So hashtag me too. I was
rough with her. There was a lot of, pushing her up against the wall and pinning her there and making out with her and just not at all romantic.
No, it's because she wanted to get in there and get knocked up and get that child support, and she didn't get knocked up. Now it's sexual harassment.
Well, here's the thing. They had the protest there. Now in, what was it? Somewhere in Halifax. It's a little island. There was a protest party of like 5 people.
Yeah, hashtag me too. We're so important.
But seriously, 5 people? They couldn't at least, get 20? This is pathetic. Sad.
That's when you need to crash and be like, "Sup, faggots? What's going on? Where's the booze?"
Well,
can you get out? Can you get out too, please?
And you're Canadian when you go, "Yes, I understand that they have this accusations, but until we have more proof, I'm going to enjoy the concert. Bye bye." And there was a customer.
Where's the booze? This is a protest party. Please get out. Whatever, nerd. Get out of the way.
Well, here's the thing that has always been disgusting about this kind of thing is obviously if it's a genuine like rape or something like that, call the cops, get a trial, make sure the guy is guilty, and if he did it, send him away to jail for whatever. But you can't try him in the court of public opinion like this. It's fucking a witch hunt.
Actually, what's really funny is that my law professor was talking about this witch hunt stuff, like Title IX.
Oh no, it's another lawyer.
And here's the funny part: she said that the people speaking against it are so stupid because if we try them in real court with due process, they go to jail for a long time. Title IX was meant to protect them because even if they were convicted of sexual assault, they can this can be swept. This can be pushed along the side, and they can still have a future.
And that's why there's so many allegations that end up having no proof and whatnot. And then guys who go through this end up like getting banned from like more than just their own campus. Like if you're in college and you're a guy and you get caught with or you get accused of being like a sexual harasser or date rape or anything like that, you're fucking done. You can't go to any other college because that's on your record.
I mean, the whole thing is so stupid because she's saying she's trying to protect the ones who were, convicted or who the allegations have been proven true for, and in exchange for a lower standard that can convict innocent people. I just can't comprehend that. And this is a law professor. That's even scarier.
Mm-hmm. Would rather have 10 guilty people go free than one innocent person go to jail.
Yeah.
So it's disgusting. I mean, it's scary too. I mean, if a guy looks at a woman wrong or does something, say like he's dating a girl and he cheats on her or something like that, then she can turn around and say, oh, sexual harassment, or he raped me or something like that, and the guy's life's still over, whether there's evidence or whatnot. That's the scariest thing, is if there's no evidence, you can still have your entire fucking life ruined.
What did the bad man do to you? He touched my shoulder. My God, send this monster to the chair.
Pretty much.
You're not getting out alive, you fuck.
Well, when there's an app out there where both parties record themselves saying, I'm going to have sex with insert the name of the other party, and it goes up to an encrypted cloud where only the police can access it in case there's like a rape charge or something like that, and they call that sexist. I mean, get fucked. I mean, that's the most easiest way to prevent these false allegations, and it's considered sexist.
Seriously?
Yep.
What does sexist even mean anymore anyway?
It means give me free shit because I'm a woman.
Yeah.
Learning from the race part. Racist.
I don't know what's what anymore. What is reality? Are we in the U.S. authority?
Are we all cardboard boxes? Are we all just...
No, you can be.
Are we all just past plastic bags in the wind? No, I don't
understand. We're in a simulation, right? And we're in the third dimension. We occupy the third dimension, also the fourth and the fifth dimension, because we can see that far in the future. And there's these psychic vampires in the second dimension. They're trying to get into our dimension they're trying to work their way up and trying to drag us down, build this AI machine.
We will not let the pedophile vampires take our children.
Yeah, the pedophile vampires. They're gonna drag. It's literally the devil is gonna drag us down, try to make us destroy ourselves by injecting all of our consciousnesses into this big AI machine.
That's why they shouldn't let them. That's why we shouldn't let them take our guns.
They're turning the frogs gay.
So basically, an episode of Face Dandy.
We're just doing our Alex Jones video.
I love Alex Jones. He's just he's like the source of internet memes in human form.
If you guys want to see exactly what I'm referencing, look up the Joe Rogan podcast where he has Alex Jones on. It'll blow your fucking mind.
Yeah,
isn't the guy who says they're turning the frogs gay?
Yeah.
Which, by the way, is not true. They're turning them trans. Hermaphrodites, I think is better.
I think they do that by default.
So if Alex Jones is somewhat right, then this whole entire thing about the psychic vampire pedophiles and things makes you wonder how much of that's right.
Okay, pedophiles I can believe. Psychics pushing your luck. Vampires. Okay, we have just taken it.
Now pedophiles, psychic vampires. That's crazy enough to be true.
How would that even work?
Well, they're pedophile psychic vampires.
No, how would that work? Pedophiles I can understand. Vampires can go with the pedophiles, but how are they psychic? Can they see into the future? Are they levitating spoons?
So if you watch the video, and he does go out and say that this is not anything he believes, but this is just what he's read and researched. Is apparently these people who are like molesting kids, they feed like psychic, they're like psychic parasites. They actually feed off of like causing this injury and this like trauma to children. It like gets them off and makes them stronger.
They are the white coat vampires.
It's the Super Adventure Club from South Park. If anybody remembers that shit.
Well, it makes you wonder what Matt Stone and Trey Parker know now. we can make ourselves
you see, forever by having sex with children. Huh?
That escalated quickly.
Fucking Christ. Well, with the way society is progressing now, I can't wait to see. Well, when Loki turns himself into a female horse, gets impregnated by a male horse, and births a eight-legged horse child.
Or wait, no, didn't he birth like three things?
This has actually happened. This actually happened in Norse mythology. This actually happened. Loki will
be the first transgender supervillain. But wait, he's a supervillain, so he's a supervillain, so it's bad. It's transphobic.
Hey Loki, that horse looks sexy, right? You shut the fuck up about that. We promise never to talk about that again.
I just wish that like Thor would go up behind him and go.
That would be the great.
Get the fucking guy from Police Academy who does all the fucking sounds. What was that when the instructor gets his head shoved up the horse's ass and they're standing there in line afterwards and all you hear
That would be great.
There's a lot of shit in this world that's just weird.
It's great though.
Yeah. Do you know what chihuahuas were used for in the Aztec Empire?
I'm afraid to ask.
Wasn't it to like hunt mice and stuff?
Nope. They burned them alive with the corpse of their owner, so that all the sin would be transferred to the pug.
Oh, isn't that nice?
Or sorry, to the chihuahua. So they would burn the corpse and the chihuahua, and then they would use the chihuahua as some sort of like sin sponge.
I know that
the chihuahua would get sent to their underworld.
Is this why chihuahuas are always shaking?
Because they're scared they're gonna get burned to death like crazy Aztecs. Yes.
Oh my god, this movie burns me alive.
It's like if Assassin's Creed took place and it only worked on chihuahuas, where that instinct of being burned alive just went down the generations. It never happened to chihuahuas after that, but they know. They know that it's coming.
Aren't chihuahuas like one of the only breed of dog that don't originate from wolves?
I think
what
so.
What the hell do they come from then?
I don't know. I think they come from like a common ancestor, but I don't think that they're like. They come from something else. They're not descended from wolves. Which makes sense, because how the fuck would a wolf get over the...
Yeah.
I don't know.
I want to know from what, though?
I'm looking it up. I'm having a look.
Probably like a coyote or something.
It could
be.
It's an upgrade from some type of rat hybrid.
Dog species evolved from some sort of rat.
What they do is they just took like a rat and they just kept on smack it in the back of the head till the eyes kept on getting bigger and bigger and bigger with each generation.
That's terrible.
There's a picture here that I got from Wikipedia, which apparently is supposedly the ancestor of a Chihuahua, and it's called a Techi.
Oh dear God! Post that somewhere.
Yeah, I put it in the Discord.
It looks like a deer.
What the?
It's even got horns.
The jackrabbit.
Tachichi.
It's a jackalope.
It's a jackalope. We have found the jackalope. It is real. It has existed. Therefore, Nazis must be real. Yeah.
Okay, I think that's an artistic rendition, and I think this is something they
Chihuahua vampires.
Chihuahua vampires coming for our children.
They molest cats, and then they're going to upload.
They're putting chemtrails in the air.
It's like the ancient Google AI thing where it absorbs all the consciousness of the owner and the sins, and it's going to transcend.
It's going to become an even greater evil, like a progressive. Or Obama.
Okay, you can say
Michelle Obama's really a man.
Michelle Obama's really a guy. I mean, look at those arms. They're massive.
Now, if we zoom on between her legs, we can see the bulge. Her clit must be huge.
I believe that's what we call a penis.
A little child went over and looked underneath her skirt when she was in one of her school classes teaching them to eat healthy, and the child was never seen again.
Oh god, it's like a scene from Vagina.
The secret couldn't get out. They had to kill the child.
The child showed up a couple months later in a video on a school shooting.
It says here, small dogs such as chihuahuas were used as living hot water bottles during illness or injury.
Wait, what?
So you just kind of like squeeze the water out of their stomach. Or
Well, I guess it's just you lay in bed with them and just cuddle up.
You put your feet on them. That's why their eyes are so big. You pour hot water in their mouths, and their eyes keep on getting bigger and bigger until they pop out of their heads.
They're a squish toy.
Oh, animal cruelty. Folks, look how inclusive we are. The furry in the group is the one laughing hardest at the animal cruelty jokes.
I think it's a defense mechanism. She's trying to block out the memory. Don't worry.
I don't know.
Anything bad happens
looks,
here.
her avatar kind of looks like a long-eared chihuahua with two tails.
She's a bunny and a cat.
Have it. I'm dying. That's what I am.
She speaks.
No.
And the awkward silence.
It just fucking reminds me of a video here.
What's
Oh,
that?
he's looking up a video. This is gonna be fun.
Oh no.
Have you ever wondered what it's like when a large snake opens a door?
No.
That's nightmare fuel.
No.
A dead
Not even.
snake.
No. Not even a little. Not even one. I am out.
Oh, come on.
Oh shit! That scared the shit out of me.
No.
That's a big fucking snake.
I was thinking that they learned how to open the door, and then all of its weight just collapsed in and hit the floor.
I'm just getting like flashbacks from Jurassic Park.
I was expecting the snake to be like going like on the floor, like when it came out through the door. I was like, "Holy shit! I didn't expect that."
Here's Johnny.
I'm not doing it.
I
like snakes, so that's kind of weird for me.
I've had one of those snakes wrapped around my neck before. Let me see if I can find a picture.
No, as a snakophobe, I do not like it.
Maybe it's the fact that it feels like he displayed some kind of intelligence that made it kind of scary.
The fact that not only can he open your bedroom door though, but while you're sleeping, he's big enough to be able to swallow you whole.
Imagine the woman waking up in the morning going, "How dare you, turn into a husband?"
Has anyone seen my chihuahua?
No. She wakes up in the morning, turns to her husband and goes, "I can't believe you raped me in the middle of the night." And he goes, "Well, it wasn't me. What, do you think the fucking snake opened the door and did it himself?" Oh, wait.
The snake puts a condom on his head.
Well, that sex actually was in a movie called Anaconda versus Python or something. That there was actual snake sex of a woman. So.
Oh no.
Gave her a head.
Something in an American movie, something like that came out of an American movie instead of something from Japan.
But oh, boo.
Excuse me, Evil Dead had fucking tree sex, so.
True. Have you guys seen Ash vs. Evil Dead?
Mm-mm.
I think somewhere in the first season, there's a scene in a morgue that just tops everything. It's something that, like, when I read the comments when that scene came up, people are just like, "All right, I'm out. We're done." But Ash vs. Evil Dead is a fun fucking show.
Silence.
Everyone's Googling Ash vs. Evil Dead morgue.
I think I'm good. I'm just sitting in the corner. I am not pleased.
Oh yeah, TMF. You know the main difference between. Well, it's not just atheist and agnosticism. There's also a separate quantifier called Gnosticism and agnosticism. So there's atheist and theist, and then there's agnostic and gnostic. So atheist and atheist is whether you believe in the God, whether you believe in a God or not. And then gnostic and agnostic is a qualifier of your knowledge. So when you're gnostic, you know for sure that that's the case. But when you're agnostic, that's when you're not sure. So you can be an atheist agnostic, an atheist gnostic, a theist agnostic, or a theist gnostic.
Fantastic.
Yeah. A deist is you think there's a god, but you're not sure what the hell it is.
A deist is you believe there's a god, but they had no influence on how the universe was created. So you kind of believe like that they just kind of started the process, but then they just kind of went hands off.
I was thinking kind of like the god of the margins, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah, a deist is just they snapped, they started the process, and then they just left everything on its own. They never touched this thing after the spark of creation, let's say that. Ugh. That's when I actually paid attention to this fucking shit.
They created everything, and they were like, Jesus Christ, what have we done? Fuck this.
Oh, they didn't even create everything. They just kind of started the Big Bang and left.
They bought the Sims. They bought the Sims game, installed it, and then just forgot to play it ever again.
Yeah, pretty much.
I was thinking they just came by and it's kind of like spat out the primordial ooze and just left. the creation of the creation of all life on Earth was just an alien coming by, taking a whiz and leaving.
they either spat it out the primordial ooze, or they just did the Zeus method and stuck their dick in it.
Or both.
Yes, the God created the heavens and the earth. Zeus, I'm gonna stick my dick in it. That's how he literally had a child with the ground. He just tripped one day and just. He had a child with the earth.
Everybody.
He tripped while he had a boner. Fuck the earth, but then of course it broke his dick, and so his entire symbol is a lightning bolt.
mate, if something has a hole, Zeus would fuck it. Like Jesus Christ.
Him too, in the hands.
He wouldn't even fuck them half the time. I think with the Perseus Smith, the king locked up his daughter, and then Zeus came in as a golden shower, read with that as you will, and then she got pregnant, and then he left.
Woo!
Yeah. She's like, no one. Yeah, the king was just, no one shall impregnate my daughter, and Zeus was sitting up there on Mount Olympus. Challenge accepted.
No, because he also gave the prophecy to the king saying, yeah, your grandchild's gonna kill ya.
You know what's fucked up is that Medusa, like, Zeus basically raped Medusa, and then Medusa went to like the temple being like,
Poseidon.
Oh, raped. And then they fucking cursed, and then the god fucking cursed her, and it's like, what the fuck? You cursed the woman for being fucking raped? That's so terrible.
One, it wasn't actually Zeus this time, it was actually Poseidon.
Oh, was
Two,
it? Well, still, what the fuck? Victim blaming much?
Well, because he's one of the big three. What are you gonna do? It's Poseidon. It's like trying to tell Zeus to stop fucking people.
Natalie, Medusa didn't wear her do not rape bracelet.
She didn't have her burqa on.
And the reason that it was actually there's some contention of which temple it was in, but a lot of them agree it was Athena, and it was her head priestess.
The pantheon of gods is a patriarchy.
Yep.
The good old Greek gods, where all of them were assholes, and the only way you got any favor out of them was when you sucked their dick so hard.
And then there was Hera,
including the guys. The guys had to suck their dicks too.
Actually, that is a thing.
That's why they were so interested in little boys back then.
Well, that was the thing. Women were just seen as, baby making machine. If you were going to have a real romance, it was between your bros.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are starting to think that's a viable option again now.
All right, I'm done. Get off me, skank.
Well, men are statistically less likely to, say that they were raped.
Eh. It is, well, what? Why is that?
I don't know. Guess
I think it's probably because it's more embarrassing. It's like
it's more humiliation than anything.
I got raped, and it's like, dude, you got laid. So
I got raped by who, faggot?
And then the
what?
Well,
you can't walk off a little dick in your ass? Get out! Get back out there!
No, I mean from women.
It's like South Park. It's just they just go nice.
Yeah. That's exactly.
Nice.
I mean, they're still talking about that. There's even articles just recent as like 2 months ago.
I got raped. What are you, gay? Just like.
What have you answered?
And you're just standing there. It's like, what are you talking about? I got raped. Yeah, whatever, faggot.
What if the person that got raped by a woman was gay?
If it was it, yeah, and then it's like, yeah, no, I got raped by this massive fat dyke. Oh my god, where is she? She needs to go to jail.
Snoo.
It's gonna be 2 questions. 1, where did it happen? And 2, was she hot? 2, if she wasn't hot, she's going to prison.
Otherwise, if she's hot, then what the hell is your problem?
I'm gay. That kid that wanted it.
It's because like they put women on sexually speaking on a pedestal, right? I mean that's
they put that pussy on a pedestal.
They put the pedestal in the pussy.
Yeah. Now I have awkward images of fan art in my head. Thanks, Nat. I'm gonna have to try. Where's my drink?
Get Fubu to like draw that.
I think there's already porn of that.
If you can think of it, there's already porn of it, and then if there isn't already porn of it, someone's currently making it. It just happens.
Do you remember those weird horse thing? Is those vaulting things where you have to like vault over them, and you have to pile on top of each other to make them higher and higher?
Yes.
Oh, what? Like a pyramid? Like a person's pyramid?
No, it was one of those vaulting those pieces of gym equipment where you basically you pile on top of it and you just basically pull yourself so you can vault over it with your hands, like kind of like leapfrog. The minute you said that, I had a flash of an image of an old piece of art that I saw while roaming the internet in my high school of a woman whose vagina was so big it encased it.
Oh. What the fuck?
I end up finding myself on the weird part of the internet a lot, so a lot of it just kind of flashes into my head. If I can find it, I'm putting it in not safe for work, because this is definitely not safe for anybody.
I'm just thinking that South Park episode with like that bus driver woman who like had Kenny inside of her or something.
You always want to be inside a woman.
Please don't.
Anyways, on that note, we better wrap up.
Please.
I'm kind of wet out of here.
All right, folks, we're gonna call it a night.
Oh wait! Can I just say, I'm posting in the Discord. This is apparently what this is the fox apparently that Chihuahuas evolved from, or they shared a similar ancestor with. And I can kind of see it. I can kind of see it. Yeah.
Ah, so cute. Let me see.
And then they turned it into a smushed-faced little monster.
Oh, it's a fennec fox. It's so cute.
It went from being a little fox to.
Do you want to hear what these things sound?
Yeah, it can't really breathe all that well.
Have you not heard what a fennec fox sounds like?
I'm talking about what they turned it into. So like a pug or chihuahua or just whatever the fuck.
That's like corgi.
Yeah, I know. You said chihuahuas. I have a friend who has a pug chihuahua mix. That thing could barely breathe.
At least one of these fennec thingies is something you don't want to throw a mousetrap at. When a chihuahua walks in, it's like snap. God, chihuahuas look like vegans.
The only reason
the same thing.
The only reason why Chihuahuas would be vegans is because they're afraid of anything that could possibly hurt them.
What about a mouse? I don't think that can hurt
Even
them.
a mouse. I've seen a Chihuahua afraid of an inanimate mouse. It literally fucking ran.
The only way a Chihuahua would work as a good guard dog is if you had a bunch of them and you just threw them at the guy.
Well, Chihuahuas tend to hate anyone except their direct owner, so that would probably work. They'd probably bite the bastard.
Yeah.
I was thinking like throwing them at him like baseballs.
Yeah. Chihuahuas get like super attached to one person. Everyone else can go die in a fire for all they care.
Oh dear God.
So you could be a couple together, you know, boyfriend, girlfriend. You both get the Chihuahua at the same time. It will only love one of you.
There can only be one.
It'd be fun to bring a Chihuahua home and just see see which one it chooses.
My dad's friend's got a Chihuahua, and she's actually adorable. She's one of the like nicer looking Chihuahuas. She's called Tinkerbell. She's great.
Of course, Chihuahua has the name Tinkerbell.
Of course.
I think you've seen Tinkerbell now.
All you gotta do is put like one of those little bells on its neck, and all you hear is everywhere.
Well, when we
it
call
doesn't
her,
stop shaking.
Well, when we call her, we just go tink tink. Tinkerbell's name is sexist. Do you know why she's called Tinkerbell? It's because that's the noise that she makes when she's like tinkering about in the kitchen. I think that's genuine. That's genuinely the reason, if I remember.
When a dog's making a sandwich.
You mean wait, Tinkerbell? It sounds like a bell when she flies around or talks.
No. When she like, the reason she has her name like in the book is because it's just the noise that she makes when she's like looking after the Lost Boys, and then she's like in the kitchen or she's tinkering about or whatever. So they call her Tinkerbell.
Oh, in the actual novel.
Yes.
Well, that would make sense. I'm guessing Belle would be not the actual Belle, but the actual French word for pretty. That makes a lot of sense.
And when you're talking about bringing a Chihuahua home to see who it loves, then it just becomes like a bitter, embittered rivalry until like one of you dies about who the dog loves more until the end of the relationship.
No, I was trying to make it like a paranoid schizophrenic.
Then it just becomes a competition to see who the dog will love. Oh, well, it loves me this month. Oh, but I just gave it a steak. Oh, it loves me this month.
Anyways, we gotta wrap up before we get a call from PETA.
FBI, open up! Oh shit!
I'd knock, but you know, I'm too frail. It's kind of like that one Futurama episode where they have the vegan lion.
We taught this lion how to eat tofu.
It's a scrawny little thing that almost looks like it's half dead.
Or the dog from the Good Family.
Oh yeah. Mike Judge show that lasted one season because it's too on the nose. Our dog's vegan and it's out in the neighborhood just killing and eating everything. Anyways, we'll catch you guys later.
Yep.
All right. Have fun.
Adios.
Bye.
Hopefully we'll catch you guys next month. Have fun.
Yeah, we try.
Make me.
Bye.